G'day guys and welcome, my name is Michael and I'm the DeadAussieGamer and welcome to part 3 of our Jasper's Game Day Marathon, a story which sees the collision of 3 fantastical realms as they collide for the very first time here for you to enjoy. The absolutely awe-inspiring world of Okanash run by my dear friend the DreadedGM, the realms of Rin run by my incredibly talented friend Robert Hartley GM, and of course my own world of Aulestria finally meet for the very first time for you to all enjoy. Now, for those of you who have been trailing around and watching us for the last 8 hours, welcome! We are about to give you guys a good recap into where the story is for now, even if, 8 hours later you're kind of like, oh yeah, that kind of did happen, didn't it? So we're going to be doing a recap, but for those of you who haven't yet caught part 1, part 2, go check out the links in the description below. They will lead you to my friends Dread and Rob and part 1 and 2 of this epic tale, as well as all the cast members you will see for the course of this leg of our adventure. So to begin, to bring you up to speed, the Order. Guardians from Okanash who seek to quell disturbances from across the cosmos send an unlikely group of companions to investigate the appearance of a strange rift that has appeared in the skies above Okanash. It disgorged a strange, great, monstrous whale which was dumped into their ocean and polluted it. Warrior, the Order champion, Mary May, the Order assassin, Mama Dotti, a gunslinger from the Order, and a few otherworldly companions, Duncan, the Riftwalker of Rin, and Selek Frayne, the thrice-damned Lich of Aulestria, embark together to investigate what was the cause of this calamity and how can they get rid of it once and for all. Upon arriving at the creature, our heroes encountered mad giants feasting upon the corpse and falling victim to a corruption that transformed them into feral giants. Feral creatures, Selek Frayne knew, came from Aulestria and were those who carried with them the taint and blood of a being known as the Tarrasque. But these creatures were not alone, nor did they act independently. They moved to the hand of a tyrannical, magical item, a sword and villain within the realms of Okanash known as Senzo, who possessed a Goliath as a makeshift host and was using their powers to consume as much of the monsters as they could. After a grueling battle in which our heroes seemed almost ready to claim victory over Senzo, Senzo devoured the creature's essence. But along with its vast power came its bottomless hunger, and this world was not enough to satiate it. Senzo's body began to transform, ripping and tearing flesh, and eventually tearing the world itself, ripping a hole in reality and setting forth into another world, the world of Rin. Leaving behind their companion warrior, our heroes jumped quickly to act to set off and save the home of their friend Duncan. Once arriving in Rin, the people of Rin had mobilized to deal with the Tarrasque awakening long before it was due to have done so. Havoc wreaked across the countryside, and Duncan needed to act swiftly. Believing the Tarrasque's true identity to be Senzo mutated thanks to its consumption of the being back in Okanash, Duncan must find a way to purge Senzo of its ill-gotten power and transport it away from his world. Meanwhile, it fell to Mary, Selek Frayne, Dotti, and their new companions, a wisecracking skeletal dragonborn named Crackers from the Bellowing Wilds, and Wolfwyn, the Green Wizard, a powerful mage from Okanash. It was up to them to delay the Tarrasque, maybe even stop it, before it was too late. A terrific battle ensued, with blades and spells flying, as the great behemoth was being battled left, right, and across the countryside. After a tireless assault, our heroes emerged victorious, and with a sigh of relief, it seemed like victory was won over Senzo, and the calamity was at its end. Or at least, so it would seem. The beast they had defeated was in truth not Senzo transformed into a Tarrasque as they had originally imagined, but in fact was the Tarrasque of Rin, who had awoken only to defend itself from a real threat. And appearing at that moment was the mutant giant Senzo, who devoured a portion of the power from the Tarrasque of Rin. Filling itself, becoming more whole, it uttered the vile words, home before exploding into viscera and leaving behind the original form of Senzo, a Goliath which lay unconscious on the ground, and this monstrosity nowhere to be seen. With only one place for the creature to go, what will happen to our friends and comrades? Will they manage to stop this great, unending and never-ceasing hunger? Well, you're about to find out. So grab your drinks, grab your popcorn, and grab, of course, a box of tissues, for this is a tale that's going to really stretch you. And enjoy, as always. Hello, greetings, welcome, salutations, g'day everyone. My name's Michael, I'm the DeadAussieGamer, and these are the people who are here continuing our adventures through this epic marathon one-shot. I hope you guys have been enjoying the part 1 and part 2, because here we are for the epic and thrilling conclusion of our marathon adventure. We're not gonna beat around the bush, but super quickly, we are going to thank, of course, our sponsors for the show, Hero Forge for the wonderful art you can see on screen, Wooten Forge for a bunch of wonderful gifts that we're going to be giving away at the end of today's stream. So be sure, because anyone who donated $10 to today's stream is going to be going in the running for one of these 3 prizes. In addition, I'd like to give a special shout out to, of course, Sirenscape and I'm going to get there, Fantasy Grounds, as my VTT of choice, and of course the sounds that you will hear over the course of today's game. In addition, of course, we're going to thank these wonderful people by letting them tell you who they are, what they're playing, and let's give a quick statement of what we thought of the gripping conclusion of Part 2, starting with none other than my dear friend, the DreadedGM.
Go check out my link tree. It's amazing. I'm on a creative journey. You're on one too. Let's do it. Let's tread that path together. The link in chat. But I will say the end of that part 2, I was on the edge of my seat, and I wouldn't be surprised if Rob had killed my self-insert character. I would have I ended the game on that part of it on 7 HP. So if you haven't seen it, go check out the VOD, because it was an amazing game. So many laughs and epic moments, and it was so awesome to sit at the table with these fine folks and Felix as well. Okay.
All right. Going down the line, we now go to AJ.
Hello, I am AJ Winters. I am a content creator, world builder, and DM from Perth, Western Australia with DAG. Today, I'm going to be playing. We've been doing this already for a while. I lost it. Today, I'm playing Mary May. Mary May is a very ladylike-looking elf with a bit of a dark past and a lot of skill with small blades that she can kill people with. But yeah, if you're interested in any of the things that I'm doing, you can find all of my links down below. I'm from Winter's Tales.
All right, thank you kindly. Next up on our list, looking ever amazing in her stylish blue wig, is none other than the wonderful and motherly Dotti, being played by the equally lovely and wonderful Ellen.
Love you, Mom.
Yes, but less so motherly, as I've just spent our break yelling at my dogs for being too loud. It's all right. He doesn't speak English. It's fine. Yes, I'm Ellen. You can follow me on Twitter at EllenKGraham1, where I do hot nerd stuff, whatever that means to you. I'll do it. And I am also a performer and creator for the podcast Roll to Cast, that's ROLE, which is a TTRPG variety podcast. So we've got something for everyone. Each season is a different game system, from Cyberpunk to Vampire the Masquerade to Pop Cthulhu to The Witcher to Kids on Bikes. We're currently doing Avatar Legends. We do it all. And if we haven't done what you want, yeah, we will. Just subscribe to us or go to our Patreon. And I have been playing Dotti, who has done one really cool spell that's worked and another that didn't. So, 50-50.
That Tarrasque and its mirror carapace is like nuts.
Yeah. And that's me.
And I am Robert Hartley, GM. Hello. I'm Robert. I'm next. I know how this works.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm glad you can count.
Yeah. I'm Robert Hartley, GM. I'm the Dungeon Master for a comedy group called Viva the Dirt League. I'm also one of the writers of D&D Logic, comedy skit series. about D&D, obviously, and I'm a Twitch DM in my own right as well. So Twitch D&D several times a week. I have a YouTube channel, and I just make a lot of D&D content. Basically, I live, breathe, and eat D&D. And here I am playing it as well. Yay! What else do you need me to know? You need to know that I'm playing Duncan today, who is a Horizon Walker Ranger. He's a planar traveler and is hopefully going to help us all get to the next plane of existence where we need to be, unless Dag's got a plan for how we're going to get there. I've always got the backup plan of Duncan. He can always get us there.
I got nothing.
What else? Oh, thank you very much to everybody who's joining us for this 12-hour marathon of the connection and interweaving of the three of our DRD teams' worlds. It's a wonderful excuse to get our worlds connected and have like little tie-ins that are left behind in each of our worlds from each of the other ones, and of course all in a good name as well. I see that we are at $1,500 raised of the $3,000 goal, so if you can get us even close, that would be much appreciated. We've got 4 hours left of this stream, and if we reach the $3,000 goal, the three of us and many of our D&D content creator friends will be playing some video games together.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
Let's punch that goal out of the stratosphere.
Dig deep. It's for a good cause.
Let's go.
All right, and last but not least, someone who we haven't seen on the channel for a while, but someone who is, of course, no stranger to our channel and the love that we have here. My dear friend and wonderful role player, the great GM himself, Guy!
Hello, everybody. It's great to be here and playing with all of you wonderful people again. I really love it, and thank you for inviting me.
No,
my name is...
Yeah, go. Do your thing.
I'm Guy from How to Be a Great GM. You can find me on greatgamemaster.com is the easiest way to go, because I don't have any cool handles that work across all the platforms because I'm that old that it wasn't a thing back in those days. So yes, greatgamemaster.com. You can find all the stuff that we do there, and all the YouTube channel stuff that I have done, as well as my latest book, which is just about to hit PDF stage. So watch out for that if you're looking for that. And yes, I will be playing Captain Brathkar, and I have a few confessions. One, I've never played a character this high level before, so if I'm throwing out magic missiles while everyone else is doing Finger of Deaths, as I saw at the end of last session, you understand why, because I'm still at that level.
Look, right? I couldn't be bothered learning all my spells, so I just literally burnt my spell book the whole time. I was like, what does this do?
I don't know. It'll save my life is what it'll do.
It will.
Because Tense's transformation is concentration, right? So if I'd have hit you with any of those spells, you might have dropped it and then ended up in the belly of a Taras.
Yep. I was very aware of that. All right. So, we return our scene to where we had left off, in the lands of Rin, as this giant, huge conglomeration has started to transform and transmogrify, growing to a colossal and monolithic size. As it does so, the large and wounded Tarask, not killed, but basically weakened to a point where it slumps down on its side and lands, shaking the very earth itself as it collides with the ground. A dust cloud flies in all directions. I need everyone except for Captain Brathkar, who is not there yet, to make me a dexterity saving throw, please. As literally this wall of dirt erupts.
Oh man.
I rolled for Felix and got a 3. I don't know what his modifier would be, but it's probably not enough.
We do not see what happens to our poor friend, Mr. Crackers.
No,
Character off screen.
Did you say that's a dex saving throw?
Yes, indeed. A dexterity saving throw.
Can I possibly roll my blink to see if I need to roll it before I roll it?
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you. You're the best.
Can I use one of my nat 20s
doesn't matter.
instead?
You may use one of your nat 20s.
I would like to.
Very well.
Dex saving though. The dex save is going to be a 20.
20? Yep, that's fine. Mary?
So I'm technically restrained, so...
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank
Mary?
you, GM.
I rolled a 14.
That is also fine.
Okay.
Duncan?
Duncan isn't there, but Felix I rolled for.
Oh, right, yes. No, of course.
Yes.
Well, actually, Duncan, no. All right, so, as...
Duncan appears. He teleports in and goes, I found out where the problem is, and immediately killed.
All right.
See you later, guys.
So, as this wall of dust begins to blow outwards, you guys are all blinded by this huge wall of sand. While you are not sent careening against the trees and foliages of the thick jungles here, you are forced to shield yourself from the impending blast. As this happens, you watch as the creature is immediately kind of pulled and sucked through what looks to be a tear in the very sky itself and disappears from sight as the tear begins to close. As it does so, Duncan arrives. In his hand, he has what looks to be this very bizarre-looking shield and a large spear. This is a magic item known as the Anchor of the Multiverse. It can be used in order to stop or halt a teleportation. But as Duncan arrives, a teleportation circle appearing in the ground, he looks up only in time to see the tail end of this creature disappearing and the tear now beginning to close.
Oh, hey guys! I forgot just after you left. I had this Anchor of the Multiverse, which might be oh my god! What is? I forgot I had it in the basement. It was in a broom closet. I went to put away the broom.
That freaking broom.
So is this a thing that I could launch the spear at? Have I got the?
Yes. Basically, you need to keep you need to keep the shield here, and you need to throw the spear into the portal. So, can you make a ranged attack roll for me?
Do that. I certainly can. That's pretty good. So I might not need to use my nat 20 token. And Duncan is ranged based, so I think it is. I forgot to get his sheet up between sessions. Sorry. 15 on the dice plus at least a 6. Ranged attack is a +6. Yes. So so a 21 total.
21, easy. You watch as this basically it's like almost like a steel pylon passes through the portalway, and you watch as the metal tip disappears, leaving only this red rope, almost like velvet rope, tied down and made into several knots into the shield itself. Very quickly, you stand and you slam the shield down, which anchors it to Rin. The portal stops, but it is straining. You watch as the magical energies create a turbulence that travels around the actual portal way. As this happens, Selak steps out, his huge and large form, basically saying, "If well, it looks like it's gone then. Too bad."
Lumbering out his huge, large form, saying,
Well then, yes. No, it's quite a shame. Oh, well, what a pity that whatever poor and insufferable world is about to be destroyed.
Duncan says, What happened? Where are we? I got here as soon as I could. I finished the scroll and then immediately just set out. Some of the fellow Horizon Shine members came to my aid and allowed me to borrow this thing, I guess.
Your
is this
Trask woke up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's right there.
It's like 30 years. Is this ours? It's not on him.
Yeah, that's kind of your one. The thing that went up there
as you look across, the Tarask starts to just claw at the ground. As the final thing that you didn't get a chance to see is return to slumber. When the Tarask would drop to 0 hit points or die, it instead drops to 1 hit point. It is literally unkillable. It uses its reaction to burrow twice its speed directly down into the ground and continues to burrow away using all legendary actions and actions to do so until it has escaped. It cannot return to the surface for at least 10d12 years.
You watch as you point over to the Tarask. Mary is retrieving the daggers from the inner.
It's coming. Oh shit! It's going away. It's starting to burrow down. It's starting to burrow through the ground. And Mary's like, "No, my daggers!"
I just had 1 repayment left.
Duncan rolls out of the way as it burrows down.
Yeah. Right. Wolfwyn is gonna walk over to Duncan and say, "It said a word before it left. It said home. I believe it's returning to where it once came." I look down to the shrunken creature that once was the creature that was facing us, the Tarask. This pitiful creature is all that was left behind. I look down. Does it say anything?
Does this thing look familiar to you? It's unconscious by the looks of it.
Yes. This individual was once known as Pog, a barbarian that lost its life to censor. Soul was held within the blade, and when the Kuatoa worshipped it, well, the form it chose was that of its previous wielder.
Well, what a shame. If it's going home,
Dalek, you know where this thing's from?
well, it's probably from my world, Aulestria. But
So
good
it's going
riddance.
back to Aulestria?
What? No. I mean, why would I go back there? It's clearly got a giant death monster. I mean,
Aren't you from Aulestria, though? Your home, your everything?
well,
all
I'm
your
here
items?
now.
With all of your magic, everything, your studies. You have powerful magic, right? You have powerful items back there. You've just destroyed your entire book, I can see, just like pages littering the battlefield everywhere.
You watch as Selek's mind goes cast back to his dungeon. You kind of watch it go past all these tomes, all these rare artifacts, all these, basically a museum, and down you can see that there is actually a tiny skeleton Dashend.
Oh, little cutie.
And he's like, okay, listen.
You can make a lich.
We need to-
Dashin.
We need to go back and save our world. I know you don't owe me anything, but as it is right now, you have seen me dominate a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and by thunder, I can do it to you. So help me out, and I will use whatever power I have to help you in the future.
Right.
I mean, I would say that we definitely do owe you one.
I mean, you helped save my realm from the Taras that woke up 30 years sooner than it should have. I'm definitely coming with you. But we should be making a move, because this thing's...
Well,
so
overtime. You're double time for you.
So Duncan, what you realize is that someone needs to be here to anchor you to this plane. What would happen basically is if you were to leave, because you're tied to Rin and not the other place, it would close and connect to Rin. What you need someone from the destination who's got a stronger connection to it to create a firmer and more static tether.
So I need someone from Aulestria to stay here.
Yes.
In order to keep the thing open.
Yes.
Okay. Look, Selek, I'm happy to do this for you. But I'm afraid you can't come with us.
What? Why?
Look, it's complicated magic that I'm not going to get into, and to be honest, I don't fully understand it myself. All I know is that the thing that you're throwing at, the portal that you're trying to connect to, is the thing that you need to the stronger connection to. I was able to return us to Rin because I was from Rin. In order to keep this portal open, I need you here with this shield.
That sounds like you just made that up.
It does. It sounds like someone else made that up and then told me, and now I'm relaying that back to the person who told me. Look,
Love it.
long story short, we need you to do this because you can't be DNPCing. Okay?
Wait, I didn't know you knew about the metaphysical space.
Oh yeah, it's one of the planes of existence. I went beyond the fourth wall. There's just like a big fourth wall in space. And I went
you kids and your slang.
As
Before we...
I was gonna say, as soon as the request is made, this blue energy washes over, and Selek takes hold of the shield. As soon as that happens, that turbulence in the tether is now completely rigid. It is now creating what looks to be an actual ramp, an actual pathway up to the portal, a solid one, which you may now travel.
I just quickly turn to Crackers and say, listen, Mr. Crackers, and I hold out the scroll of the blue veil that I've just finished for him. And I say, I'm really sorry to do this to you. I need to keep a hold of this for just a little while longer. If I have one, I can return and I can make you another. But if I give this to you now, I'm stuck in Aulestria and I can't return. I can't return. And sure, you'll get home, but I won't. And if I keep it, we both can get home. If I don't, it's only you. You understand? I'm sorry to do this, but if you can just hold out for a bit longer, I'll come back and I'll make you one. I swear.
I understand.
Sweet.
Excellent.
Thank you, Crackers.
Wolfwyn's going to move
God.
over to Sensor and say, I sense a terrible hunger in this creature. Are you just going to leave it here? And as he kneels down with an expression of pity, Sensor is going to reach out, if you're okay with this, GM. Yeah, and is going to start grabbing Wolfwyn, and you start to see soul energy siphon off him as his mouth opens up, and he almost starts to get pulled out of his body, Soul Reaver style. Yeah, his form becomes more sunken and decrepit the longer this goes on. Let go of me!
As this happens, Selak, in a single movement, pulls out the cube of the Eternal Cube, and places it into onto the chest or onto the back actually of this creature as it's holding onto Wolfwyn.
Did you say his name was Pog?
Pog.
His original name was Pog, so but he's still known as POG,
the body then the square then sinks into his body, and you watch as he almost implodes and disappears, leaving only the cube.
I look up to Selak and go, "Thank you. You
Don't
made that
thank
choice
me.
on your own."
Yeah, yes. Just don't thank me yet. Save my world, and then you can. Then you know we'll be square.
Or a cube, and I point towards the magical artifact.
I was like Duncan wouldn't. I was like Duncan wouldn't say it, so I'm just gonna let it go.
I stand up with my 7 hit points, my broken shoulder, my broken ribs, my bloodied face, and I was like, "Let's finish this."
All right, making your way up the
ramp.
Okay, making your way up the ramp, you begin to come to the portal. You step through and pass. It's kind of like this almost wet feeling, like it's a very viscous kind of sensation with electricity that causes your hair to stand on end. This is not a portal like the one that Duncan had taken you through. This is a break. This is a fissure. This is something that shouldn't be here, held open only by pure force as you pass through.
This world hasn't experienced this magic yet. Oh, it's always awful the first time.
As you pass
Wolfwyn
through,
throws up.
well, don't throw up yet, because
Because what?
Dramatic music starts.
suddenly, as you feel yourself moving forward, it almost feels like you've tripped. Your body starts to fall, and you plummet. You realize you are 10,000 feet in the air, and are careening towards land. Wind howls past you on both sides, and you are just in a free fall, heading down towards what looks to be a large blue planet. As you are falling, you can see around you the signs of a destroyed mountain. Huge, large, massive chunks of earth, separated and broken, fractured as they crash into each other, sending sprays of rock and earth in all directions. Mixed in among these large stones, you see buildings, cracked, broken, and destroyed. As the buildings kind of begin to fall into ruin down towards the earth, where you can see these pot marks hitting both land and sea. You also notice that a group of small vehicles, almost like ships with large sails that seem to glisten in the sun, are crashing, being destroyed, caught up in what looks to be this massive, turbulent energy, causing them to like just explode left, right, and center. As you are falling, what do the four of you do?
Well, Wolfwyn throws up, and it goes over his face as he's breathing down, wipes them off the sick and blood.
How's those 7 hit points looking?
Let's not panic.
Also, real quick, because I had a potion from the previous game, I am bumping that potion over to my dear friend Guy. So, Guy, you have a potion that you can consume for healing, moderate healing. Later
Has
on.
Guy got 2 nat 20 tokens and 3 inspirations?
He does, because that's what Felix had.
Oh, okay. Right. I was gonna say I thought somebody had given him that since he turned up.
That would be amazing. Do that.
What can you say? Yeah. Hey.
Do that.
The tokens are there.
They are there.
Don't forget charity, everybody.
Or the tokens.
Yes, but the falling issue.
Yeah.
We should address that.
Mary doesn't have anything that would be able to stop it, so I think she will fashion her cloak into like trying to slow the process.
All right. I need you to make me a dexterity check as you attempt to do this. You unfurl it and tie it around and try to catch as much of the wind as you can. Dotti, what about you?
Yeah, because I was gonna try and teleport, but
It's all open space except for the falling mountain that's next to you.
yeah, and also with physics that still wouldn't work because of inertia.
It's always a question of like, if you teleport, does your momentum carry on, or
Yeah, I don't know.
Mine's at 22, so I think I've like hooked in my elven kind boots into the corners of the cloak at the bottom and flung out like a hang glider squirrel.
Absolutely.
Are we coming in
make something of it
exactly like we were from the last session?
As you were, yes. So you've still got the blink spell active.
Okay, cool. Okay. Do I have that? Let me have a quick. No, I don't. Okay, no. For comedic effect.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna hopefully let me see if I've got this planned. What do I do?
It's 10 feet back up every time.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't have it prepped.
Okay. Duncan, what about you?
I have been in a situation like this once before when I found myself in the plane of air, the infinite plane of air, and I was just falling for like 3 days straight because it's an infinite plane of air, and I don't have anything I can fly with. There's nothing I can do to like halt that. So I'm just going to think back to that and just hope for the best. It's a very long shot, but I'm going to speak Primordial, the language of the elementals, and I'm going to put on my best Auran accent and speak in the language of the air elementals to just shout out, if anybody's here, please help us. And I'm going to see if there's an air elemental around that might be able to help us or catch us or something.
All right.
Oh, I think I have a strategy. Sorry, I was desperately searching through my spells.
Well, as we get to that, nearby, a figure at the helm of a ship suddenly hears a whisper coming from the very engine of the ship that they ride. It simply whispers in a breathy tone, "There, over there."
Shut up!
And then he ignores it and he goes a different direction and we all die. And Captain Brathkar, how do you want to do the rest of this?
Yes,
amazing.
All right. As you say that, barking and snapping at the voice, you cast a wayward gaze and you can see 4 figures in a free fall. They do not have wings. They do not have the flight ability. They seem to be panicking. One of them has used their cloak to try and slow a 10,000-foot fall. Make of that what you will. The scene is yours.
At least she's doing something.
It's true.
Do I hear the call in Primordial?
No, it is in Draconic.
It's in Draconic. No,
Yes.
Not from my engine.
Oh, no,
But
your engine, which has an air elemental in it, has heard the primordial call.
See, Mary, I was doing something. I was saving our asses.
Never said you weren't.
All right, I'll swing the ship hard to port and try and head in the direction that the engine has indicated with some reluctance. And I want to prepare a spell for when these individuals arrive.
All right. Twisting the helm of the ship, which we will now see on screen in just a moment. All right.
Whoa, that's cool.
All right.
That is a cool ship. Damn. That's
You
awesome.
watch as the engines start to flare with this blue energy, and veering down towards the lower area of where you were all falling. You all see this ship below you. It starts to rise to try and match your velocity as you slowly make your way onto the deck. One by one, you are caught almost gracefully as as Captain Brathkar pulls underneath you. Can I have Captain Brathkar make me a dexterity check, please, to see how gentle you are with this? Unless you want to intentionally slam them into it.
Yeah.
You'll take 17 points of damage and Wolfwyn dies.
Did you say a dexterity check?
Yes.
I'm going to use real dice because I don't know how to use that program.
All
right,
that's
so
fine.
that would be a 16.
16's easy. Basically, you all end up like tumbling a little bit, but are unharmed as you end up on the deck. Standing before you, Guy, will you describe your character, please, as he is on the helm of his ship?
No, because I immediately
okay.
cast sleep at 5th level upon all 4 of these individuals that have invaded my ship.
I mean, Wolfwyn's the first to fall asleep because he has 7
Yeah,
hit
Wolfwyn
points.
goes. Wolfwyn's the only one to go, maybe.
All right. Anyone?
Yeah, I can't.
Now, in my world, I actually have because those who can make saves against stuff can choose to willingly fail if they want to, and I also have pulled shot thing, so you can do minimum damage anytime you do damage. So just FYI. So can anyone resist a sleep spell from a level? Well, actually, sorry, I should probably also mention this because I forgot this is part of my stream. Could everyone, except for Captain Brathkar, because you're already there, level up to level 16?
Yes, please.
Oh, damn.
We're still no
crap.
long rest,
I didn't know
right?
We'll get there.
Okay, cool.
Well, you might have a long rest after the sleep, but if
Okay.
no one can resist it,
Wait, let me check.
Mary?
Like
I can't be
I
put
can
to
resist.
sleep.
you can't be put to sleep.
Yeah, as an elf.
Elf.
an elf.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep. So,
Elves are immune to sleep, and Duncan has way too many hit points for that spell to work on him right now because he
Very well,
wasn't in
so-
the Jurassic fight.
all right, so it's just Dotti and Wolfwyn.
Wolfwyn enters an even deeper sleep.
Oh, I think because of my item, I can basically counterspell that.
If you would like to.
You can choose.
I
Yes.
think I mean,
You're
I might
tired
just
after that
suss.
fight, man.
I might just
Have a nap.
suss out and then choose to sleep.
All right.
How often do you get to have a nap in the
Like
middle
I
of the
just,
day as a
I just
mother?
want to
There you
make
go.
sure that he's not going to kill me in my sleep.
All right. So with that, both Wolfwyn and Dotti fall to sleep, and Captain Brathkar, you stand before 2 elves, one of which appears to be a simply dressed female elf with dark hair and kind of like a very stern look about her. And the other is a dirty blonde-haired elven man with what looks to be a shield and a half-elf, sorry, with a shield and a whip by their side.
I quickly just look as I see you cast this spell, and kind of like I go a little woozy for a second and shake it off, and I say, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, no hostility. We're in your debt for saving us, but we're not here to hurt anyone. Just chill out."
What were you doing on Dinnerell? And why are you falling through the sky?
We're from a different plane of existence. It's a long story, okay? Just give us a second. We'll explain it. Oh, okay. I'm from an organization on a completely different world called Rin. Horizon and exposition dump.
Exposition dump. Here's what you need to know, Guy. Number 1 is multiverse travel isn't real as far as you know it, but they seem to have come from a different world. Number 2,
they claim to it.
Yeah. Number 2, they are apparently chasing some sort of large beast, which you know exactly what that is as you look up at the sky, and what you see is literally just a midsection of a large serpent-like beast. It is about 80, sorry. It is about 10 miles wide, and you cannot see the tail, you cannot see the head. It is entirely made of steel scales that look like miniature swords along its entire length. This creature seems to somewhat match the description of the monster explained in the exposition Duncan drops. He also mentions a name you are familiar with, and that is the name of Salak Frayne, the Thrice-Damned Lich. Considered to be a joke nowadays, back when the dragons were in charge, Salak Frayne was a very errate slave to the dragons who gained more power than any human should really do. And he was a threat, but now he's a toothless undead, as far as you're concerned.
It was just a joke, you guys. Damning him 3
Lols.
times.
It was amazing.
Yeah, just
Why are
lols.
you here? You want to destroy this creature?
Yes. Why else?
Well, that's a good question.
We followed it.
Bit foolish.
We followed it
appearing
through
in the middle
across
of the
two
air if
different
you can't
worlds.
fly.
We didn't know that it was going to end us in the air. We just had to take a punt. Most often we'll end on surface or liquids when I travel. I do this a lot. Yeah, falling is unfortunately a part of the job.
And you know nothing of dinner ale?
You've said that word a couple times. I thought you said dinner bell at first, and it made no sense in context. What is
dinner ale, so it's similar.
dinner ale? What is dinner ale?
That's something you don't need to know about, at least not yet.
We
need to get clear of this debris field. You know how this beast can be destroyed?
Well, we're working on that.
As you are discussing this, the air elemental once again speaks. It speaks in the language that you are sharing, which at the moment is common, and says, "Captain, detecting life signs. Dinnerel, Sector 7.
I cannot take them to Dinnerel. You know the rules. Now be silent.
It is the nursery, Captain."
You say you're a part of some kind of order?
Yes, a couple of different ones. I'm from a different plane to these guys. Those two are from the same order. That guy's from a completely different plane again. I'm from a similar order to them, actually, but from different planes. It's a lot, I know.
You will take an oath here and now that you will not reveal anything that you have discovered or learned whilst on my ship?
Yeah, happy to.
Upon your souls for all eternity, and if you were to break this oath, that you would surrender your immortal soul for all time?
Did you? What was the term? Hey, Wolfwyn,
if that's necessary.
Hey, bud, it's okay. So I said to Wolfwyn, just chill. It's okay. He was just a precaution. Just take a rest. An oath to not reveal anything that we learn here today to any other person. I mean, it's kind of my job. I have to track down these aberrations between planes and slay them. So
I don't care about the monster. I care about what you learn about my people.
Oh.
Well, if the condition is not to learn anything about yourself and your people whilst on your ship, then I agree.
Yeah.
So you'll have to get an oath from each of us.
I'm personally happy to agree to that. Look, if that's what it takes, I'm appreciative that you saved our lives, and I'm coming along for the ride. I will respect your privacy to the best of my ability, and anything you tell me in confidence that I know is in confidence will be taken with me to the grave and beyond.
Yeah.
Always cast modify memory if we need. Did you cast sleep on me?
Yes.
It's a
Thank
neat
you.
trick.
Yes,
Yeah, I was
needed
gonna
that.
say I haven't slept that good since my eldest turned 10. So
The ship suddenly veers to the right hard as one of these large chunks of rock narrowly misses the side of the ship. You watch as the sail had to be drawn in, causing the dip in order to avoid getting ripped to clean off.
Right. Since you are on my ship and I have saved you and you have sworn an oath not to reveal anything that you learn about me or my people, I need your help now. Our city is under attack, or was under attack. The city is no more. That, I say, pointing to all of the falling buildings and mountain, was Dinnerel. It was destroyed by this entity which you seem to know something about. There are still people alive, and we need to get them off. If you do not want to help, you can go below and sleep some more.
No, I'm happy to help get people off.
Captain, my captain, lead the way.
Do you have any medics on board? Some of us are rather injured.
Unfortunately, my flagship was destroyed in the initial attack against this creature. All that I have left is this single ship and myself upon it. And I am not versed in the healing arts.
Are you a single-person crew?
Yes.
I heard a voice before. Where was that coming from then?
An insufferable being who thinks it knows more about the universe than it actually does. Pay it no attention. Although it may have saved your lives.
I've met a few of those.
I look over to Duncan to see if Duncan's looking at me at that point.
You watch it. You watch as the cutting words of the captain cause the engines to stutter just a tiny bit as they're.
Well, in that case, I hand a greater healing potion, or superior healing, over to Wolf.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So just FYI, is this one of the ones from your inventory, or not one of the potion ones? Yep. Cool. All right.
I am. Thanks.
All right. Popping the cork and drinking the fluid, the red liquid seems to have changed to a very, very delicious taste. It is pomegranates with raspberry and a spritz of lime. You don't know why the composition of the potion has changed, but it restores you to full health.
Let's go. Now, at level 16, because I was hit and pummeled by a literal Trask, I took the tough feat. So
Nice.
my HP is going to go up to 162.
Nice. All right.
All right.
I guess.
Think about it.
My
And I'm a
max
wizard.
is also 162.
Amazing. Yeah.
I mean,
I drank the
also have
potion, sort of like letting that magic, that special type of magic, sort of course through my veins. I start to get a little bit more swole. My shoulders pick up. It's very much like the Captain America scene. So I'm just like, I'm like, all right, this is good. Oh.
All right, Wolf. No one's shooting a calendar.
All right.
Now I want to see a calendar of wizards. Like, so
I'm
bad.
June.
Yeah.
On this, as you say this, the ship immediately begins to dive. It takes a 45-degree downward turn as it begins to try and chase what looks to be a large building caught among the rocks. All right. Captain, I need 3 successful dexterity checks from you as you try to avoid the large rocks. Anyone who wishes to, on any failed check, may try to intercept a boulder that is heading towards the ship as you careen downwards.
Let's
You
go.
need to keep them off the ship or we'll all be destroyed. No pressure.
Feeling
All
bolstered
right.
with the health potion, I move forward to the helm and then take aim at any incoming debris in our direction.
You see, for the first time, Mary May's face changes slightly. There's like a minuscule rise of the eyebrow as she looks at him walking forward.
You can also see
what it takes to get a reaction from Mary. Literal like end of times destruction of plants. And...
you can also see that on the ship, on both the port and starboard side, are 2 large ballistas. However, there is no arrow. Instead, there is this large steel barrel, as well as on the very, very front. But the one on the front doesn't have a barrel. It has a crystal that seems to be attached where the barrel would otherwise have been. These are siege weapons, and of course, they are available for you to use.
I have no experience on an airship or catching or avoiding boulders. I don't have spells that'll help me do that. I just trust in Captain Brathkar and his abilities, so I'm just going to enhance them a little bit. I go up to Captain Brathkar and I say, I think you're the one to get us out of this. I'm afraid I'm not going to be too much use. If you'll allow, and then without waiting for a response, the sort of sunrise symbol on my shield will glow, and I will enhance your cat's grace. You have advantage on all dexterity checks, and you don't take damage from minor fall damage.
Oh, I love it.
Very nice.
Should we man the weapons, Captain, or are we using
Yes,
our
man the
means?
Oh, you haven't been on one of these before.
No.
Arm the cannons. And remember, we're in a 3-dimensional environment. Rocks could come at you from above as well as from the sides and from below since we're going down. Keep your eyes sharp, everybody.
All right. I better. Oh, wait. Almost forgot these. All right. Let's go.
DM,
Yes.
I should have been rolling
Yes.
disadvantage.
I have a 22 passive perception. Could I stand at the helm of the ship and just point out obstacles as a way of helping?
Yep, not a problem. This will give Captain Brathkar advantage. So please make your dexterity checks with advantage. If we fail, then it will come down to the others to intercept.
Do you do double advantage? Because I already gave him advantage.
I do double advantage, actually. Well, actually, no. I do double advantage as a reroll. So you get advantage, and then if you fail still, you get to reroll with advantage. It's kind of like the super advantage.
Double.
Very well, in which case my first check is 14.
You're 14. You may reroll it, because that is not quite high enough.
I didn't think so. You didn't hear the part about my first ship being destroyed, right?
This is really the time for stories.
All right, with a 20, this one is actually quite close because, as mentioned by Captain Brathkar, it can come from anywhere. Two mountainside faces collide, sending those rocks flying, and from underneath, in one of the blind spots, this like spray, almost like buckshot, flies towards the ship. Mary is quick enough to point them out, and Captain Brathkar basically begins a barrel roll.
Hold on!
As the ship begins to turn, you all prepare to suddenly be thrown off, but you realize that these small swirling dervishes wrap around your feet and pin you to the deck as it rotates 180 degrees. 300. Well, you know what I mean. Does a barrel roll. Whatever axis that is. Look, talk to the math guy.
I love your maths, man.
Look.
I love that you keep putting maths in.
I keep trying.
At least he can count the threes, so...
Yeah. Doing better than you.
All right. Let's go with our second check as you begin to try to weave between two mountains that start to close. You watch as the gap gets thinner and thinner.
Shoot a hole! Shoot a hole! 13 again.
13 is not going to do it. You do have the reroll with the navigation bonus, so let's see what that reroll looks like.
Yeah, 15.
That is not enough. All right, let's turn to the... Yep. All right.
Are you proficient in air vehicles?
Do I look like I'm proficient in air vehicles? I actually am proficient in air vehicles, but
Well, it's more he's accustomed to instructing people to do these things rather than...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ask
Wolfwyn...
a stupid question.
Yeah. Wolfwyn and Dotti, it is up to you guys. You watch as this thing is closing. He's asking you to blast a hole. The front weapon with the crystal in it is in the prime position for that.
Okay.
Hells yeah. Let's light it up, Dotti.
Let's do it. What do I need to do?
All right. So, Dotti, I need you to make a ranged attack, and Wolfwyn, you as well.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, I just have to refresh my
Actually, Wolfwyn, make me an Arcana check, please.
Oh yes, please. Oh, I'm gonna use my inspiration on that because I really want it. I really want it.
Gotta use all these tokens. Up
Yeah, we gotta use all these tokens. This is it, now or never.
Donate more.
19 on that inspiration.
19?
What am I rolling again?
Ranged attack.
Okay. Where would that be in my?
What's your dex?
My character sheet. Well, my dex is just +2.
All right,
so
just roll with your dex. Yeah, roll with your dex. You're fine.
Okay. No, that's not good.
What'd you get?
7.
7? Oh, you need a 10.
Got 2 nat 20 tokens.
You do have 2 nat 20s.
Can I use it retroactively?
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
I have
fuck yeah.
no
let's use
dramas
that
with
one.
that.
I'm so sorry. I just have to close my door. My dog opened it.
Very well. All right. You know what? I'm out of politeness. I'm gonna wait. But Wolfwyn, what would you get for your Arcana check?
19 with inspiration.
Okay. You see this creature. You see this strange crystalline structure, and as you go closer to it, you realize that it's a battery. But not just any battery. It is the wielder needs to be able to flow Arcana into this in order to have it function. Dotti, however, as she grabs onto it, doesn't sort of put that much energy into it. So you begin to channel pure arcane energy, raw arcane magic.
Yes.
And this is the interesting thing. Arcana comes from within, and it is part of the world itself. Aulestria is rich with magic, and as you pull it in, it's not even you that's expending anything. It pulls in from the world around you and coalesces in the center of this crystal, and you watch as there's this huge straight fire beam. For real, fantasy rounds?
Doing the thing you wanted to do.
I was hoping for like a bigger, yeah, you know, but that's okay. What you do here, however, is a colossal explosion as a hole is now opened.
Hells yeah.
Now, as
Wolfwyn's
you
gonna
get,
go, where have you been all my life? I love you!
as you reach the other side, I need a perception check from everyone in order to try and find the building that you're looking for.
Oh yeah, this is my jam.
Hells yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
Alright.
20.
What do I need to make? Do I need to make something?
Well, you know what? The dirty 20 is fine. With
Yeah.
Duncan
23.
having... With 23? 23, yep. Both Mary, Duncan, anyone who gets over 20 or over can see that there is a large building that is kind of attached to like this, almost like a cork sized platform. It is only half of a building. It looks like almost like the Roman, what's it called? The Roman...
Colosseum?
Yeah.
Not the Colosseum, but like the place where they had the
Pantheon?
temples. Pantheon, I think. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Parthenon, that's the
Or
one.
the
Parthenon.
Acropolis.
Yeah,
The Acropolis, the Parthenon.
the Parthenon. Yeah, yeah. So as
Greek.
yeah, it's Greek.
Shame.
Look,
Look, how
many
big
of
is
these
a Tarrasque skull? Isn't it too big to be just sticking
it-
daggers into both sides of it?
you know what I'm gonna stick daggers into, mate?
You
Okay.
made that argument against the T-Rex skull, you'll find, according to the law, according to the Lord.
Come on, everybody. We're already big nerds. Let's
I
not.
know.
Anyway, you find the broken bit of this building not too far away, and Brathkar, you managed to pilot it into a safe space on the actual cork itself. It is still falling. However, the sheer size of the cork that you're on prevents the wind shear from disrupting you. You can disembark at this point. Your air elemental will keep the ship in a holding pattern. If you wish
Don't
to.
have a lot of time.
I mean, I'm...
Find the
we're-
children and bring them aboard, obviously.
Children? No, we're looking for... Go! I'm off. As soon as I know I've got a
Alright.
plan. I don't know what I was doing. I was like, I'm just waiting for an order.
Yeah. Wolfwyn will give hold onto his hat as he follows Duncan. He's like, I know, it was awesome, right? And he's talking to his hat again as he makes off towards following Duncan.
All right. So Duncan, Wolfwyn, anyone else getting off? Yep, Mary,
Yeah. Yeah.
Dottie. Yep, everyone's getting
Absolutely
off. Okay, cool.
following.
Not a problem. You all begin to march through this area. You can see that the destruction is absolute. There's signs of like the murals and the paintings all crashed to the floor, furnishings just shattered. As you pass through, looking at where rooms would be, where children would be like kind of growing, learning. This is a place of education. There is nothing. No one is here. Where there would be this large room for bedding, the building is just ended, and it drops off to nothing. Eventually, you come to a large room, which is a place of magical and arcane training, and you can see that the ruins are collapsed. Big, large boulders just everywhere. And in the center of this room, you see...
Centuries of everything destroyed. This creature that you fought, it was surrounded by denizens, correct?
Not when we fought it. It didn't have any minions or anything fighting alongside it, if that's what you mean.
I mean, there were the lizard folk.
No, there was, I mean, it killed a bunch of people, but there was nothing was fighting for it.
Right, yes.
We encountered creatures fighting on its behalf, surrounding and swarming it.
Oh.
Be
That seems to be a
cautious.
your realm thing.
Do you know
Yeah,
what
we
the
didn't
creatures
see
were?
that.
Have you seen their kind before?
No, certainly not here.
What did they look like? What sort of general size, body morphology, wings, claws?
Scales, very sharp. It was difficult to see. We actually couldn't see the entirety of the creature either. It was in the clouds and it attacked.
But the creatures that were fighting for it, were they winged? Were they were flying with physical aid, not just magic?
They must have been. I mean, yes, they were, absolutely. It's not in my brief, but I'm fairly certain they were flying because we're in the air, right? So they have to have been flying.
Hey, DeadAussieGamer.
Yeah. Yeah, how can I help?
Can I speak to you through Captain Brathkar and everything that he knows?
Yes,
Can you
yeah.
tell me?
Sure,
Can you tell me? Were the creatures that were fighting alongside it winged, or were they flying unaided, like with magic?
Fighting alongside
The creature, the Leviathan thing in the sky, the thing that he could barely see in the clouds.
They were the ships that Captain Brathkar's on, and they were just crashing.
wait,
into...
we're
Oh,
talking- no,
sorry,
we're
no,
talking
no.
about
Oh,
the
yeah. So
creatures.
those creatures. They were beings made of steel. So they so in addition to the fleet itself, the best way to describe them was like airborne stingrays.
Okay. Metallic airborne
But made out
stingrays.
of steel. Yeah.
Steel rays.
Okay, that's weird. Is there any chance that I've heard of anything like this or encountered anything like this?
Negative.
This doesn't
Would
sound like anything I've encountered across multiple different realms and planes of existence.
Same
Would that be
for
an
Wolfwyn.
Arcana check or something?
Yeah, no.
an automatic
No,
fail.
this is something
No
unique
chance.
to my world. But he
Holy.
does say something that does ring a bell to you. Apparently, these creatures have a large sting on the back of them that it was able to break down and dissolve metal. These creatures individually weren't very strong, but they pulled apart the vessels that were attacking and creating the frontal assault like, they were children's toys.
Like a rust monster or something.
That's what we thought too, except they were coordinated. They knew exactly how to hit us.
This thing that we fought was definitely smart. I think it's using might be like a hive mind. Maybe it's adapted to have like a hive mind when it.
I mean, it
arrived on this
continues.
planet.
It continues to grow, right?
Yeah.
Grow and mutate and evolve. So, stands to reason.
Captain, was it more reactionary, or was it like it knew what to do against you? Were you telegraphing at all?
It came straight at us and out of nowhere.
All
I
right.
mean, that sounds
We
pretty
can
targeted.
look. We need to find survivors. We can strategize later.
You're all right. Okay.
You mentioned that there might be like children around, so I'm gonna run around looking for survivors.
All right. It takes a little while to search. Takes a little while to search, but before long, you find yourself in the central chamber. As you do, in the center of the room, there appears to be trapped under a large bit of debris, a brass-looking dragonborn holding what looks to be something close to their chest. They look like everything from the lower half down has been just completely destroyed. As you get closer, you hear this gasp. Who goes there?
Hey,
Your healing magics, please.
Brathkar. Brathkar, is that
Yes.
you?
It is I.
You recognize this individual. This is the admiral of the brass fleet, the brass armada. His name is Admiral Telsor.
Telsor, how came you to be here?
The creature. It attacked with such ferocity, and there was nothing the armada could do. The order was given to retreat, but it was merciless. It didn't even stop. It treated us like we were nothing but flies. It tore apart the city. I used my life raft and came here. My tracker ran aground. I couldn't save them. He unfolds his cape. He reveals a small clutch of 3 brass eggs. This was all I could save.
It is enough.
Blood kind of
You
sprays from his mouth.
You have healing potions in this world.
We do.
Yes?
They work. They're like I would it. I have
Would it
one.
be
I don't.
enough?
Is it
I-
enough for this wounds?
I don't. He's got half of his
Different
body
realms work in
missing.
different ways. I've found that some realms my healing potions do nothing but taste cherry flavored. Other worlds they can regrow limbs. So like what? How does it work
I will
here?
try and give the admiral the healing potion. If
You would
willing
know.
to part with it.
You would know that that healing potions of this world cannot do this. But as you hand it, he places a hand on the potion and pushes it back towards you. He says, looking into your eyes, "Brother, you know as well as I that this is it for me. But
You will fight again, just not in this life.
Is there
Admiral,
any?
and there are others that will rise in our stead." And he hands and thrusts the clutch of eggs towards you.
I'll take them.
Is there anything we can do to make him comfortable?
You could put him to sleep. I looked at Captain Brathkar. Nice.
Before
warm and easy
you are
sleep.
allowed to go, Admiral, one last order, sir. Must we retrieve the book?
The book is retrieved.
Where is it? Why hasn't it been used?
Its power is too great. But the duty of the Admiral is to ensure that the Council knows of it and protects and safeguards its content. A duty I can no longer fulfill. He reaches into his pouch and draws this heavy-set tome. He hands it to you. Take it.
Surely we must use it. Dinnerel is destroyed. There is nothing left.
His eyes begin to float backwards.
Admiral!
I know. You will do what is... And he falls silent.
Ah!
I'm sorry, Captain. We will avenge him.
There's another crash. The structure you're on is not stable.
We need
We must take the
have to
eggs and we
go.
must leave immediately. We must find a safe space. Figure out what to do.
Where would that be?
Yeah, can anyone spot any buildings or any places from here?
No, we must return to the ship. Make clear of the falling debris, and if we can find any other survivors, obviously try and assist them. We have a far greater burden now than simply destroying that beast. You do not understand the implications of the book that the Admiral has given me, nor the responsibility that we have of these 3 eggs.
Captain, forgive me if this comes across as impertinent or rude, but I am from a different realm with lots of species. Is everyone on this plane of your kind? The survivors would all be similar to you and the Admiral?
Whether or not
Just the ones you would find on Dinnerel.
Whether or not you choose to reveal this, Captain Brathkar, this is all of the brass dragons. There are none after this. Your kind, your species, is a dying one. And as far as you can tell, the Admiral was the last, save for the clutch you have in your hand.
I won't reveal that information just yet, since we're falling through the sky towards the ground.
Yeah, of course. Time is of the
That's fair.
essence.
What do
fair.
you tell me?
You will find, I hope you will find more of the Admiral's kind. We have to.
And you're a different kind of Dragonborn?
Yes, I am silver in nature.
Silver Dragonborn. He's a brass Dragonborn. Okay, so I'm going to...
We should get out of here now. We're
I'm
running
going
out of
to,
time.
I'm going to cast Locate Creature, and I'm going to specify, describe or name creatures that are familiar to you, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to just specify Dragonborn. I'm going to kind of think of the Admiral and the Captain and think of that kind of a creature, which in my world I would call a Dragonborn, and I don't know if it's the same here. So I just think of that, and then anytime that we're within 1,000 feet, I should get a ping of if there are survivors around.
As you do so, there are none between here and Dinnerel.
So it looks like me. It's concentration, isn't it? So your enhanceability drops, and the sunlight on my shield drops, and then I focus in, and it starts up again. And then there's like that same sunlight shining just behind the eyes as I open my eyes, and I say, "There are no survivors within 1,000 feet. I'll be able to tell if I come within any survivors in the next hour. We should make our tracks through the remains, through the rubble as much as I can. If I come anywhere within any remains, I'll be able to tell if there's survivors."
Excellent. Back to Dracarand.
All right.
I start heading back towards the airship.
All right.
Yep. I'm gonna get a wriggle.
You all make your way with haste towards the airship. Mary, as you are making your way, I need you to make me a perception check.
Well, that doesn't make me nervous.
22.
22. With the 22, you notice that something is following you. You're unsure of what precisely, but something is skulking, something is lurking in those dark and narrow places that that your eyes have kind of been trained to watch for.
How far away?
Not far, maybe about 15, 20 feet. It doesn't seem to have, you don't get the sense of hostility, just more that it's keeping its distance.
And I assume not Dragonborn then?
Not a Dragonborn.
I slow down my pace, but not obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And not in a threatening way, but I will stop the thing following us.
To do so is quite simple. As you round a corner that has these kind of large and once opulent doorways, now splintered and torn, you simply close the door behind you. The creature is unable to follow.
Oh.
You're surprised by something?
If you guys are still running off, then...
Yeah. You take a moment to look at the door and ponder what this thing might have been.
So it wasn't a person, it was something else.
Yes.
And I've stopped it by closing a door.
Yeah.
I don't think much further on it. I go back to the ship.
All right. Boarding the ship, you begin to pull away from the island. This time, you watch as the rest of Dinneral falls. The lands below are potted with these huge and mass craters. The waters now rise with several small archipelagos from just the debris that is struck down. And high above, you see tearing through the sky just this immense and mass body ripping across the cloud line. This thing is 150 miles long and 80 miles wide. The endless fields of blades and hooks and horns that make up its scaled form look almost like an upside-down landscape to your eye as you gaze up at it.
I'm gonna start casting my return home spell. I'm gonna start with the
Oh no! Selak wanted to go home from second one.
Yeah.
You ain't leaving.
Yeah, but I'm not bound to be here.
Yeah, Wolfwyn's gonna come out and say, Duncan, we have to do this.
I know.
For the multiverse.
And it's in your contract.
Yeah.
That's right. Apparently. I've heard a lot about this contract.
I'll get written up by the manager.
Oh, yeah.
Slack off work early, right, Dotti?
It's a killer to get out of. Yeah, you really should have had someone look over your shoulder before you signed that.
Right. I look over to Captain
the...
Brathkar.
I will place the eggs and the book in my cabin and then try and find these 4 people.
All right. You do so. Now, what instruction do you give to the ship in regards to what position it should hold? Dinnerel is now gone. You don't have to dodge rocks. It's quite a clear sky, save for, again, the giant freaking monolith worm.
How big
Set course for Zonith. That is the only place I can think of going right now.
Yes, Captain. He watches the ship.
How big are the eggs?
The eggs are about the size of a watermelon each.
Watermelon each. I say, hey, if you, Captain, if you need a place safer than this plane of existence for those eggs, I have and I bring out a tiny model of a chest, treasure chest, and I say, with this I can, and when I open it, a model replica of it appears next to me, and I open it up, and there's no room in it right now for watermelons, but if I moved all the shit out of it, there would be. And I say, I can summon this and dismiss it to another plane of existence. If those eggs are important to keep safe, maybe they'd be safer off the ship. It's up to you.
It is a kind offer, but I do not know who you are aside from planeswalkers. We will arrive at Zonith. The council will know exactly what to do. There is nothing left for us here. You have fought this creature before, you claim.
We haven't fought that thing.
Not like that. It did not look anything like this. Well, yeah, nothing like that. Nothing nearly that big.
Let's
I
hope
do
it's
not
the final.
understand.
It was
You
from
claim
this
to have
plane.
fought it, and yet you say it is not this creature.
As we have chased it
changing and
through,
evolving.
yeah, as we've chased it through different realms, it has been evolving. It has been absorbing powers from different realms. This is its home plane, and I think as it's returned home with the powers from other realms, it has gone into extra. I'm trying not to say overdrive. It's gone into an extra fast growth through its evolution, through its mutations.
What is its purpose?
It's the treasure chest.
From what we
Destruction.
consume.
Consuming, endless hunger. These words that it was given to it. It was a leviathan, apparently. It could manipulate gravity.
The name strikes you, Brathkar. The greatest threat known to your kind was a being known as the Tarask, formerly the god of destruction in this world. He had 5 children, equally destructive, and hated the dragons with every fiber of their being. Their existence was to destroy them, each manifesting a catastrophe. And thinking about the battle you had fought, it only makes sense. Despite the change of its appearance, this is Leviathan. It has absolute control over the elements of gravity. It can increase, decrease the powers of gravity. It can crush things to an atom. It just does this by thinking. The battles that have been fought against the Taras, as they're known, have been long and bloody, and the dragons have done what they've canned. Till now, they've been considered to have been sealed away. The Leviathan, deep below the sea, in the body of a traitor, a person who stole power from the dragons long ago. Why the Leviathan would be here, why it would be in this form, why it would have traveled. These are so many questions that you have yet to answer. But you know that one thing's for sure. It is not mindlessly choosing to bump into and attack the dragon citadels. It is hunting them with malice and intent.
Drach, increase to maximum speed. I know where this creature is going. You say it uses devouring magic?
Yes.
Yeah. It's
And I
absorbing.
know what it
it's
is.
consuming.
And I know what it is after. It is here to destroy the great cities. There are not many left. There are 4 that it is most likely to choose from. I am taking us to the greatest of the cities. I just hope that it will, in the meantime, attack one of the minor cities.
We can warn them in advance. You have
What
sending
warning would you give them? This creature devours
Evacuation.
worlds.
Evacuation. If they have time, escape. They have vessels like this one. They can split up. It can only chase. I don't know. I'm trying.
Understand the time frame in which this thing attacked. We barely had time to get onto our ships before half of the mountain had been destroyed. All you would do is be seeding chaos. Besides, I have no means of communicating with the other cities. Once we get to Zonith, we should know more. You are versed in the arts of magics, all of you?
Somewhat.
Some,
Pretty much.
Very much.
not all.
We've got a nice
It's
range, haven't we?
My specialty.
Not at all, kind of, somewhat, and
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
It is at this point Captain Brathkar realizes that this is the most hodgepodge, motley crew you have ever had
Is it this point? Is it this point that he
It's at
Well-
this point you realize it.
Well, you all kind of came in together, and they're like, maybe they work together well somehow, you know?
Yeah.
Like, maybe they've got something going, and at this point you
We make
realize,
it work.
no, I think I think none of them really.
None of them work together. They don't know each other. Duncan did explain that they're all from, with the exception of Mary and Dotti, they're all from different planes of existence and met each other in the last couple of hours. Like,
very intense hours.
It's been a team bonding exercise.
It's like summer camp.
Yeah.
So...
Hey, it's okay though, because I have Goodberry, so we're gonna be fine.
Oh, great.
It's one of the most powerful spells in existence.
I'm glad someone does.
Yes.
No one else has any feeling.
As the DM, how long is it going to take us to get to Zonith?
Well, funny you mention that. As the captain orders for the extra speed, you watch as the flares on the back of the ship go from being this kind of clear and kind of gray color to this bright blue magic. What happens is a tear appears, almost like the sky itself becomes liquid, and you begin to sail through it at an intense speed. The wings on the ship start to glow and create these hexagonal patterns covered in beautiful runes. And you will arrive in under the better part of 6 hours. During which period of time, even though it is only 6 hours, I'm going to give the entire group a long rest. I know!
Yay!
My spell slots were
Let's
running out.
get some of them spell slots back.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
So because
That'd be
this is
so
a one-shot and I want us to have as much fun as possible, I'm going to treat this full rest as a full restore. So any lingering so any lingering damage and stuff like that, we're not going to, worry about things like that. But I am going to do my traditional campfire scene. So, during the 6-hour period, night falls over the city, over the lands of Aulestria as you are making your way towards the citadel Muir Zonith. As you are doing so, I'm going to ask what you're doing during this rest period. You don't have to necessarily sleep, but you have to be doing a downtime activity. Brathkar, what are you up to?
Pacing backwards and forwards, contemplating the end of Dinnerel and what is to come. And also very, 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 very cautiously looking at the book with reverence and fear, and cursing the Admiral for his, as usual, cryptic last words.
Wolfwyn will look at you and your gaze towards the book, and will walk up and say, "Are you okay?"
Was your world destroyed by this creature?
I don't have a world. I come from the throes of the multiverse. But I have seen worlds destroyed by creatures before, and that is definitely something that could do it.
This being, this very creature, is the offspring of something most terrible and destructive we call the Tarask. This is one of its children, if I am not mistaken. Its sole purpose is to destroy my species. It has done a fine job thus far.
Well, from what I've learned from the many stories of the multiverse is that those that wish to destroy find infinite creation. And even more than that, pushback. If the fire in your belly is as evident as it is, then I believe that it is going to find itself with a monumental task. May I ask, what is that? They point to the book.
It is something that is sacred to my people. It contains great power. If the creature were to consume this, all would be lost. This is our last hope at defeating that thing. I am just a captain. I was never I had never expected to be placed into this kind of situation. The Admiral was supposed to take the book. The Admiral was the one who was supposed to destroy this creature. The Admiral had everything riding on his victory, and he failed.
I'm going to reach out a hand of comfort and hopefully be able to place it on your shoulder. Does it land?
Yes.
As it does so, you notice that despite the captain's size, he feels denser, almost like 10 to 20 times denser than you'd expect.
Captain, fate is calling, and you've all it's got.
I wish it had called someone else.
Heroes often do.
Meanwhile, outside the cabin, Mary and Dotti, you are out in the night sky. Although now some distance away, you can see just this winding road of this giant creature snaking its way and weaving through the very cloud lines.
Oh man, I was really hoping for an early one today. It's fine. I mean, I have a sitter, but...
You genuinely say that every time we go on a mission.
Well, it's true. There should be some sort of contingency to get us out or, finish on time. Most other jobs, if you're a baker, you finish when you are meant to finish. It is a clear-cut end time. Like, look at this thing. I mean, I still gotta read them a bedtime story. I gotta pack their lunches for tomorrow. And now I have to deal with a multiverse ending entity. It's just, I'm a single mom. That's, where's my help? I don't get any help.
Dotti, you and I both know we don't work for a normal job. All of your jokes about HR and invoicing. You know I don't take a paycheck for this.
What the hell are you doing it for then?
The good of humanity?
Ugh, come on with that.
Why do you do it?
Why the hell else? Because I got kids.
And you thought saving the world from magic explosions and working for the Order was the best way to do that? Come now.
Well, I didn't really have a choice. It was go straight and narrow or end up in a cell somewhere. So I thought, steady job, on the right side of things for once. And maybe I'd be able to bring home some cash and make the world a better place at the same time. I guess I just thought that after a while I would be able to, I don't know, have the stamina to get used to it.
I'm afraid events like this you can't really get used to. But I do understand. You and I have a similar past.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, that's enough of me bitching. She will unscrew her. I gave her the item of like endless coffee. What was it? the bottle of boundless coffee. So she'll like unscrew her thermos, pour out a cup.
Mary turns to you after you say, that's enough of me bitching, and I turn to her and say, do you promise?
Never.
As you pour out your coffee, there's something different about it. Almost like the tastes
Cheers.
have been enhanced greatly, and the flavor is just amazing. Like, you have no idea what it is. The magic of this world seems to have elevated your sense of taste.
Oh, wow.
What?
Well, I mean, this is just the cheap stuff. I don't go in for the, the expensive beans or nothing, but...
Oh, I don't have taste buds anymore.
Oh, well, I don't know. You might want to try it out here on this universe, because... Wow, I haven't tasted coffee that good since, I don't know, probably my first cup.
I've ingested too much poison in order to taste anything, really, so...
So good. I love it.
Well, I'll write it down. Maybe you can read the flavor profiles.
Amazing.
All right.
Wolfwyn told you the food's great here.
That's great.
Where is where is Duncan?
I think Duncan is at the bow of the ship, and he's Titanic. No, he's.
Yep. Okay.
I love it.
Somebody jack me.
man.
I will just. I'm just leaning on the taffrail. I heard it was called. Learned that just last night in the pirate game that you ran. I'm leaning on that, and I'm just looking out at where we're going. It's been a long time since I've been on an airship, and I'm thinking of the plane of existence that I'm from, and if I'm gonna be able to get back. I'm going through everything that I know how to do, and trying to work out how on earth I'm gonna kill that thing. I don't have time to like think about food or rations or whatever. So for that reason, I have learned Goodberry. And I think I cast it now almost absent-mindedly to try to start snacking. And as I pull off one berry and eat it,
roll a percentage for me, please.
What does a good berry taste like in Aulestria?
Yeah, that's why I was casting it. As I was like, I want to know what Goodberry.
You're gonna be off your face on this good berry.
Yeah.
41.
Good berry. That's a great berry.
41. All right. 41. The good berry actually tastes like vanilla ice cream with honeycomb on it.
Oh.
Now,
Okay.
in my world, good berries actually are my version of the Birdie's every flavor jelly bean.
Nice.
Lovely.
So yeah, they all taste very, very differently and can be wildly different. One can definitely taste like shoe polish.
Do you
Eat another one.
Well, that was my next question. Does how am I gonna justify eating another one? Duncan is from
Because it
Duncan
tastes
is
delicious.
well, no, because Duncan is from my world, where if you eat more than one Goodberry, there's a chance that you get stomachache because it gives you enough nutrition to last for an entire day.
Right.
And if you eat two of them, if you feel like you've eaten an entire feast, and if you eat three of them, you start getting damage to your stomach. So I don't think Duncan.
Gonna have a nap.
Make a
Duncan's
wisdom
from-
save.
Wisdom save.
Yeah.
I think
Robert really wants to eat another Goodberry, but Duncan is from a world where that would not make sense. So my wisdom save is a 12.
12. With a 12, these are just too Moorish. Before you even realize it, your hand is already putting one close to
Also,
your mouth.
just I'm super curious as to like my Goodberries. I know the taste of them; they taste like vanilla, but this one tastes like vanilla ice cream. And pick one up, and I'm like, yeah, I'll try it.
All right.
Oh my god!
What'd you
I
get?
swear to God, 41 again. So
41 again? Still
tastes
tastes like
again
ice cream.
like the same thing. So now I'm like, damn, this is delicious. But
however,
now
the
I
ice
think
cream-
Goodberries are just always vanilla ice cream.
Well, actually, however, the ice cream flavor changes. This time, what you get is choc mint.
Oh damn, nice.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
I think Mary will make her way over to Duncan after excusing.
He was just eating good berries at this point.
Yeah.
But you don't feel overfull. You don't have that sickened feeling as you eat the second one.
How are you doing?
Oh, hey. Damn, you're quiet. And here you come. Sorry, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm sorry that I sent you into such danger before and couldn't come with you.
Don't be.
It seems you handled yourself well.
Some less than others. Didn't do quite as well as I usually do, but
Hey, we all have our off days. You survived. That means you did fine.
I wanted to
Did,
say thank you.
What?
I respect your order. I've been at mine for 30 years, and what I'm doing is great, but helping the wider scope and other planes is admirable. So, thank you.
Thank you. It means a lot to hear that. I've been doing what I've been doing for all my life, so 40 years or so. But I've mostly been on my own doing it. I thought I was the only one with my abilities, but I've started learning that it's a rare thing that many people are born with. It's just few and far between, and finding others with my skills is difficult. When I met Trellis and found that she had abilities to see and divine what was going on, it was useful. We started banding together, and that's when we made Horizon shine. And it's still in its early days. We don't. Unfortunately, the job doesn't pay too well. There's no one around to commission you to save the universe. If you're out there on another plane, you just got to do it for the right reasons.
If money is what you're after, you're surely not in the right business.
Exactly. But hey, I get by. I'm to be honest with you, I just look over the ship up into the sky. I don't know what to do.
Neither, but it will be a fun adventure nonetheless.
I might be out of my depth. On my world, I have more power than this. I feel more able, but for some reason in this world and yours, I just felt weaker. Like I was 5 levels lower than I would be at.
Yes. I don't understand it necessarily, as I'm not a magic user, but I do know what it feels like to be powerless.
As you say this, Wolfwyn and Brathkar, you conclude your
Here,
discussion.
try one of these.
As the night passes and some of you turn in, Brathkar, on the words of Mary feeling that powerlessness, you turn back to your large, very mahogany captain's desk where the book rests. You look at it, and it's right there. The power you seek. And yet, in a way, it feels out of reach. What you do for the rest of the night, I will leave up to Brathkar to keep quiet to themselves until we reveal later on. The next morning, however, in the distance, you see a glittering golden mountain covered in gemstones and geodes that hover underneath the scale of this huge and immense citadel. Ivory towers gleaming with these stained glass windows depicting large golden dragons twisting around the awnings. Huge and massive murals that show, it's almost like a bathhouse with this mosaic tile telling the story of the flight of dragons across the skies of Aulestria, creating forests and life everywhere that they went. It is a blossom with color and vibrancy. Flying in the sky, you see a number of golden vehicles, very similar to the one that you are riding. And as you approach, 2 fly to flank with you, guiding you to a small hangar.
Peacocks. They've always liked to show off. You're about to enter a city that not many individuals are ever even permitted to see. Please do not engage with any of the locals.
Right, you are.
I am bringing you to the council so you can tell them what you have told me in the hopes that they will give us guidance as to what we should do about that Leviathan out there. I would suggest you decline consuming anything as well, as I expected would cause your insides to explode.
Very well.
And whatever you do, do not even try to speak a riddle or a puzzle of some kind. You'll be here for the next 500 years.
No speaking, no eating.
Speaking, no eating, no drinking. No talking to the locals, no engaging.
Yes.
I've been to many different types of hell. I understand those rules nicely.
Dotti, you're going to be able to handle that.
I know how to do business, Mary.
I got an 81 on my next my breakfast my breakfast.
Your breakfast one. This one is
Brackaberry.
Okay, this one is orange juice, so not bad for breakfast.
Okay.
Just straight up
Not
orange
toothpaste,
juice.
thankfully.
Well, it's supposed to be a juice of some kind. I mean, yeah. Let me roll to see if I can make it interesting. It's not just orange juice.
For reference as well, Duncan gave me one last night at the end of our scene. Mary can't taste, but what would it taste?
Very well. All right. First of all, it is not orange juice for you this morning. It is guava. And with a 51, even though you couldn't have tasted it, yours actually tastes like poppy seed cupcakes.
It's good.
You've actually been getting quite lucky on these ones.
Really lucky ones.
All right.
I'm gonna eat so much lunch after this show. I'm so hungry right now.
Do you miss role playing with me?
Absolutely.
I will say to Brathkar, hey, question for you: does all food just taste better in this world?
I don't understand what you mean.
I suppose you wouldn't have frame of reference, but things I've been eating and drinking, they just seem like more flavorful here. They seem like the magic is, I don't know, stronger of my. Do you have these? And I'll hold up like a vine with 6 good berries off of it now.
Grapes.
To fill in some lore for Captain Brathkar, this is something you are aware of and are a little bit proud of. The dragons introduced consumption magic to this world, providing magic an ability to house itself within objects, mundane and organic, that can be used for food stuff. The more delicious something is, the more powerful it is, as now eating things becomes a style of magic, which was developed by a great progenitor of the silver dragon house.
I don't think you realize exactly where you are. This is Muir Zoneth. It is the capital city of all of the great dragons. And you can tell by their ostentatiousness, it is the gold dragon specifically. In a curious twist of fate, whilst we developed the power to store magic in various things that one could consume, the Leviathan and its ilk devour. I know there is little distinction there. Nonetheless, yes, you should find that your flavors are slightly enhanced.
Huh. I like this place.
I have heard legend of it throughout the multiverse, and when it was mentioned before.
Well,
accepting present circumstances, I'm sure this would be a wonderful place to be.
Only if you like being trapped in paradise.
Sure.
As the ship pulls into the large hangar, you are guided in by what looks to be several golden dragonborn. As they gesture to the ship, it eventually lands, and you are welcomed by what look to be these priests in these white and gold robes. They approach you and bow reverently. They say, "Welcome, welcome, honored guests. Our brother from the Silver Citadel. It is so good to have you here. Have you been well?"
I need to speak to the council immediately. The Leviathan is alive and has consumed Muir Dinner.
The Leviathan, you say? Such a creature has not been seen in well over...
Do not waste my time with your idle prattle. Take us to the council immediately.
I'm afraid the council is predisposed at the moment. They're currently discussing the new aqueduct system that's going to be laid.
I do not care what they are discussing. Did you not hear me? Muir Dinner has been destroyed.
As you say this, I'm imagining like imposed on this poor guy who's kind of just letting that sink in. His gold sheen, which was once lush, is now changed to a paler color. Right away, please, come. He moves swiftly past, describing this in super flashpoint. Lots of pillars, lots of things. This kind of place looks like almost like a bathhouse / eatery. You can see that there are lots of children playing in the fields, large courtyards which have both real and illusionary gardens with fruits and flowers that don't even exist because they're experimenting with new life. That's what they're doing because that's over there and there. And every time you try to stop and look at it, Brathar's like, "Keep moving!" As you make it to eventually these large golden doors with 2 flanking dragons on either side. As the doors push open, you can see that there is a semicircular table high risen above what looks to be a circular center of this room. In the air, a chandelier of glowing crystals stands before you. As you arrive, the council looks upon you. Hail, brother and sisters. It is not often that we see visitors from the other cities. But pray, what brings you so far from home?
I slam the book down onto the table and then reverently put the 3 brass eggs down as well, which I was obviously carrying in my backpack. That is all that remains of Muir de Nerel. The brass fleet is destroyed.
This cannot be.
These 4 claim that they have fought this beast across the multiverse. And I know that we do not accept that. But their story seems true.
They begin to mutter as you provide them the exposition. One of the gold dragons, Dragonborn, speak up.
This is highly improper. We do not mess with the multiverse. There are those who posit that there is far greater dangers there than we have here. We should seal up the portal after sending the creature back to whence it came.
This problem is bigger than your idle worries. It's bigger than your world. How dare you?
I'm gonna puff at my chest and sort of like stand proudly.
A long, tall-necked woman, gold dragon, says, "We empathize with your concerns. The fall of one of our kind is troublesome to bear, even in our current state. The magics of this world are held by a tether, and the tether is connected by we, the dragons. If we were to allow that to fall, it would not just be Aulestria, but all the realms. From what you describe, it is capable of passing between the worlds by force. The implications of this are great, and actions may need to be considered and weighed heavily." "Weighed heavily? We don't need to weigh anything heavily. You hear them. They're willing to throw their lives at it. But how many armadas are we going to send? Send all of them. Unite all the 4 clans and send them into war against this creature."
Don't you mean 3 clans? 1 has fallen.
There's 4 remaining. There were 5 clans.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Let me. Yes, 4.
They all look at you.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you.
We cannot simply allow the fate of this world to be placed in the hands of strangers from another. We must reach out to our heroes. But you know that we do not speak with those from the surface. We've isolated our clans, exiled ourselves for the sins of our forebearers. And that treaty cannot pass. That cannot go to bear. We cannot allow ourselves to be revealed as liars from this ancient pact. And what
if you fall like the brass? Oh, bronze. Was it bronze?
Brass. It was brass.
Brass, yeah. What then?
They all go silent. There is no good answer. The woman then speaks. "Captain Brathkar, you have come with hard news, but also a great boon. You travel with the Codicillus Draconis from the Brass Kingdoms. This tome contains a power we swore to never utilize again. In these circumstances, I put a vote that we allow our travelers to wield its power. For good or worse, it is the only way." "Rubbish! No! We cannot allow the Codicillus to fall into the hands of these other people. What if they tell the humans?" "Yes, the humans are quite an ostentatious group and would surely use its power to... But they're not humans, they're elves! And that's much better. The elves themselves
They have
been
sworn an
known...
oath on their lives not to reveal what they have learned this day."
And you, Captain Brathkar, would you stand by their oath and bear with it its responsibilities?"
Yes.
You know what that should mean if they break their oath.
I'm aware.
They look at one another. Captain Brathkar, if it were any other captain, your request would not be seen favorably. In fact, in many cases, you may have even aligned yourself as a traitor to your people for even associating with them. But your long-standing history and duty to your kingdom and to our kind will not go unrecognized. You will have our blessing. Take with you the Codex and use the power as you will, but use it wisely. We only ask that whatever this is, that you and these travelers stop it. We will provide you our ship. This engine that we can fit to your vessel will allow you to expediently travel between the magical gateways. But we will not be able to return you. Beyond this, all we may do is bless you and wish you safe travels.
We are grateful.
They bow their heads, and golden light begins to pour into the room. Here is what happens. Each of you are blessed with a single rune of gold. What it will allow you to do is, within one round of dying, you will stave off death at the cost of this rune. You guys happy that I'm giving you a long rest and a self-res?
Hells
We're
yeah.
very happy, yeah.
Oh boy.
No, I'm
question-
terrified. I'm
Not a
terrified
good
they give me
idea.
a
Yeah,
Question
not a
for the
good
GM.
omen.
Yes.
Are we able to use these runes on anyone else, or is it just self-res?
These are just for you.
Okay.
All right. With that, you are dismissed from the Golden Dragon Temple, and as you make your way out towards the ship, I will give you one last chance to converse on what is your game plan before we go to break. So
Wolfwyn's gonna walk up to the captain and say, "I'm sorry, Captain. I did not mean to overstep. I welcome there."
as Dotti walks
Pompous-
past, you watch as this tiny little. It looks like a dog, but it's got like a gold dragon kind of look. It sort of sits next to you, has its tongue out, it's wagging its tail. This
Ambush
is
drake.
this is a Drakenhound.
Oh, Drakenhound. Oh, Drakenhound.
Yes, they're adorably cute.
Yeah, happens to
Yes.
look a lot like him. Well, I mean, hey, we've got the resources. We've got the power, the firepower, so let's just dive headlong into it, shall we?
They
Let us
gave us
begin.
nothing. They could have given us their fleets. They could have given us their mages. But no, they choose to hide behind their precious little words. I should have known not to trust them. Now,
Yeah,
you fought
Captain.
this thing before, yes? In whatever incarnation it's been.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
twice now. 2 different versions of it.
Both
This will
those
be my
encounters
second
that you fought with it, did it seem as if you could fool it or trick it?
I mean, it grew and mutated and learned, but
It seems
I would
more
s-
brutish than smart, but I
in
wouldn't call
fighting
it stupid.
style, it just goes after you. All of the kind of absorbing of attacks or learning or becoming resilient seems to be an instinctual thing. There's no bargaining.
Hmm.
From what
I
we
wouldn't say.
witnessed in Bryn, it had its objective. It would not stray from that objective. We were fighting the Tarask, the creature that it consumed, and it did not care about us.
It went for the Tarask straight away.
Yes.
Captain.
Did it seem like it had hidden and waited for you to weaken the Tarask?
Mm. Perhaps yes.
So it was smart enough
yes,
to do that
indeed.
at least.
You are correct. Yes.
Captain, what is this codex?
The codex is very old. It contains magics, and it grants us the ability, effectively, to purge devouring magic from a being or from a creature. It is quite powerful. If used unwisely, it could bring about the end of the world. I know that is of little consequence if this multiverse actually exists. One world amongst millions.
Every world matters, Captain.
Exactly.
That is why we are here. And I looked at Duncan and nod.
Yeah, we're not risking our necks just so this whole place can go kaput.
The codicil it empowers an individual if you read it. But that individual can use that power of the codicil then to destroy devouring magic, but they have to place their hand upon the beast in order to activate the
like
magic.
the idea of
I
being
am
that
not
close.
well versed in these things.
Realizing the
need to
question that
be-
was asked before from
Do
the
they-
captain, and he's going to look forward and sort of flick a stern look, or like a considering look towards the captain. They need to know magic. Someone needs to be well versed in magic.
Wolfwyn.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you something in addition to that.
Okay.
When he says you must place your hand on its true form, you know the true form isn't the large creature. It is the blade. It is Senzo.
Oh.
Ooh.
So among this creature, which is literally a field of swords, all of which look identical to Senzo, you must place your hand
The
on the
real
one
Senzo.
that is the real Senzo.
And do they need to be magic? The one that does that.
To answer this, because I'm not sure if I told Guy, basically what will happen is the person who reads the codicil will be inscribed with the power. That person then must be the one to touch it. They themselves don't need any magical powers or abilities, but someone magic needs to cast from the codicil in order to prime this spell.
And how long will it take to read the book? Is it like a pamphlet, or is it like Harry Potter 4?
It'll take you the better part of however long it's going to take you to get to the end game.
Yeah. Cool.
So Wolfwyn's going to say,
But my question was like, so that we can't get up to it and be like, all right, one of us read it quick.
No.
yeah, so it's a preparation thing.
Yeah, and only one of you will be able to be prepared with it.
Wolfwyn is going to say, my stock and trade is that of the divination tradition. I have scrying abilities that help me see things that others are unable to. I have the means to find this blade amongst its fields.
I have similar magics, but I imagine mine aren't nearly as strong as yours.
I'm going to say something that you're not all going to like to hear. But each of you has value. Whether it is your position, your job, or your children, you have something to offer the world. My offering to the world is sacrifice. I do not deserve much else. So if this means to kill, then I will happily do it.
Don't say it.
Yeah, Mary, with all due respect,
Yeah, as soon as that happens, I'm going to move
not
up to
gonna
Mary.
happen.
I'm going to say, there are more of me than there are you.
Why are we treating this like it's a death pact, right? You need to find the sword, but we are there to assist. Everyone can help this person get in and out. Oh my god, these dragons.
Is
Even
that,
this- even
is
this
that
dragon-
true, by the way?
Yeah.
That person can get in and out,
Like they just need to lay the hand on, right?
right?
I'm not saying that I'm going to choose to die. What I'm saying, if it does, I would be the best person to do it.
You are more nimble than the rest of us, yes.
It sounds to me like we're going to need to buy whoever is touching the blade you refer to.
Yeah, it's a sword that was kind of kicked off this whole thing. The power of the Leviathan came through to, and I point to Wolfwyn, to Oakenash's world, and then it got caught up in a sword that was consuming sentient blade, and that seems like that's the blade we got to touch.
When magic is not used as a tool, it shouldn't be used at all. Anyway, it sounds like whoever's going to touch this blade will need to have as much opportunity to get in and out as possible. To me, that means we should probably have a two-pronged approach to our game plan. Whilst a small group are trying to get to the blade, another group should try to keep the creature completely oblivious of what the other group is attempting to do.
Agreed.
I'm
We
here for
could
team
approach-
distraction.
Agreed.
Yes.
I look over towards Mary, plucking an eyebrow.
We could approach Muir Baravast. Vastelius is a much more understanding leader. They might provide a fleet for us to attack whilst we're trying to get in.
That would be preferable, yes. We need to stay together and have someone else on the other prong, I think.
Any
Agreed.
way we could send a letter?
You know that the priests here actually do have these large orbs that they use to communicate to the other cities. The ships don't have them, but the temples do.
Very well. I will attempt to communicate with Baravast, see if we can assemble a fleet. You say this creature has a specific purpose. It consumes with
Yes.
intent.
It seems that way.
Then my guess would be that it would head to Xenaros first, the city of the Bronze Dragons, if only because their fleet is weaker than the other two. And that
Take
is
out the
probably
small
where we
ones.
should try and head it off.
I think that's wise. From our understanding, the more it consumes, the more powerful it becomes. If it can take off a weaker fleet, the stronger it is for the bigger ones. All right.
Seems like the strategy I would take if I was that thing.
Seems like we all have our assignments.
With an understanding and a heavy weight upon the task in front of you, you begin to make your way. The captain goes and speaks with the soldiers of Baravast. They are very quick to respond, preparing and mounting an attack. They even field out information that their scouts have provided you. They tell you that the large creature is heading to Xenaros, the home of the Bronze Dragon. The master of the Bronze, a woman by the name of Ulmastrin, she has been already forewarned and told of the fall of Dinorel. You know that the head woman there was actually a mated pair with Bolvargo, the brass king, and she is also ready to fly into battle. With this and positive news, you all prepare for your journey and your final encounter. But for now, however, we are going to take a very short break. We will come back in about 15 minutes to wrap up and conclude this amazing marathon. Guys, thank you so much for joining us and hanging out for so long. It has been a wild ride. Again, thank you to my players. Thank you to all of you who have generously donated. Guys, we are so close to that mark. Let's get those donations in because they're all for a great cause. I know that I haven't actually provided my players with much of an opportunity to use all the cool stuff that they've got, but I am going to throw in this big doozy. If we can get $200 as a donation between now whatever point we are in, at every $200 mark from this point, I will drop another bad guy on my group.
Wait, how is that fair?
It's not.
Good.
It's absolutely not. I'm sorry.
Why is that a good thing for us?
I didn't say it was a good thing.
Thank you very much for donating, but that's
1,600
is admirable.
So every $200 from this point is going to go towards a new monster, new encounter, new thing that is going to come and mess up my guys. So thank you so much, guys. We'll be back in like 15 minutes. So grab yourself a drink, go stretch out. Thank you to our sponsors, of course, for today's stream. Thank you to Jasper's Game Day because, of course, it's wonderful. And we'll see you in just a little bit. G'day, guys. Welcome back to part 2 of our epic adventure. We are now in the end game. We are now heading to the conclusion of our adventure onto the into this Jasper's Game Marathon. All right, now I'm just gonna get straight into it because I want to, I want to use the time we have well. So, as you guys are in the hangar to the Gold Dragon's Citadel, Mjor Zonith, as you are making your way up, a small, tiny dragon dog seems to walk up to Dotti. In its mouth is what looks to be a brilliant and radiant crystal. The strange thing about it is it looks kind of like an attachment that you would stick to the front of a firearm.
Oh, hang on.
It wags its tail. In fact, you see that there's a little name tag around its neck. It says Deperbor. It's a draconic name for Spot.
I'm gonna take a.
There.
I'm gonna roll one of my nat 20 tokens to sleight of hand it away quickly. And just take it.
Very well. You now have an angry dog, and Dotti has the magic weapon.
I didn't specify. Damn your pronouns!
All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't try and like slyly take anything away from a dog.
It looks super happy. Like its eyes, it's like slobbering on it. Its tail's wagging.
Here, I'm gonna give him the good scritches.
Ooh, its leg kicks, and as it does so, as it does so, wings sort of pop out of its back and start flapping.
Oh, my kids would just eat you up.
It
yes, they would.
Opens its mouth, and the object drops to the ground.
Oh, you must have been hungry. I will take the object.
It thinks you're gonna throw it, so it kind of gets into the ready position. Its tail like sort of wagging behind it.
I might just have something on me instead. I might have some. I'll use some rations to like throw instead.
It chases after them.
Yeah,
all
good
right.
dog.
We'll come back. Don't encourage it. They are vermin.
It's not my dog.
You gotta enjoy the nice things, right?
Wait,
yeah, that's someone else's problem.
Yeah. It's almost like someone hasn't roleplayed with me as a GM before and doesn't realize that emotional attachments to pets is probably not the best way to go in my games. No, I'm joking. Anyway,
I love it.
So what you have in front of you, Captain Brathkar can tell you, is it's basically called a shatter shot. It's a artifact, a weapon that is pretty much standard issue for the Knights of the Silver Order, and has the ability to shatter crystalline objects when armed or equipped to a firearm.
Yes, do not point it at my ship.
I
Very
wouldn't
bad.
do that with a firearm anyway, but this could be useful. We're gonna need every little bit of firepower that we can get going up against this thing, trust me.
Definitely.
Yeah. Only we're not the ones trying to take it down, right? We need the fleet. We need distractions from others. These Goodberries are very Moorish on your world. I burned through all of my level 1 spell slots.
Yeah, can I try one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right. With good berries in their mouths, and I'm not spending all my time rolling on a random table of food that I'm pretending I've even got.
Let me taste
But
the
I want-
Roll a d100, hurry up!
Okay,
Look,
thank you.
Swear to
I've-
God.
Look,
Oh my
I've already
God.
achieved what I wanted to with the Goodberries, which is making you admit to the fact you don't have a D100
Of course I don't have a table!
Alright. 20.
All it does is it determines if it's a good thing or a bad thing. What'd you get?
20.
20? That's a bad thing. Okay, this tastes...
Oh, good.
Centipede.
This
Tastes
tastes...
like centipede.
It tastes like a mouthful of fillings while you're chewing
Can I
aluminium.
just stop? What's going on with you, Ellen? That you're
That tastes like pain.
So there is a brand of jelly beans called the Bean Boozles where they have terrible flavors, and there is a centipede one, and I have eaten it.
That's gross. I don't even know what that's.
Truly, it is. I did it for a kid's amusement.
Can't even begin to imagine what that would taste like.
I'm assuming we've contacted the fleet already.
Yes, this has all happened, and you are now boarding your ship to go
perfect, perfect.
Amazing.
All right.
Set course for Xenos maximum speed. Now, you claim that you have the ability to identify the very heart of this creature. How close do we have to get for you to use those abilities?
All
About
right.
1,000 feet,
Yep.
1,000 feet.
give or take. Yeah.
And on a 150-mile long creature, you want us to
Cruise along it. Yeah. You got
It's
a better plan,
entire-
Captain?
No.
Start at its tail end. Start at its
if I
tail end
may.
while it's distracted from the front.
If I may,
Sail under.
that device on the front of the ship has the ability to flow and sort of amplify arcane magic through its wielder. Perhaps if one of us was to man it and cast the spell through it, we would be able to channel the spell through it. It's very hard to explain.
Can I check that in any way? I've got a decent arcana.
Yeah.
Can I check to see if that might work?
I have a
no.
plus 10 as
It,
well.
it would not. It basically just turns it into munitions. So
Munitions. Okay, cool.
yeah, unfortunately, it will not.
Okay. But maybe not.
All right.
Very
So-
well, we'll
Nice,
set
nice
course for the
thinking,
tail.
Wolfwyn, but I don't think that's gonna work.
All right. As you board and you begin to pull out from the citadel, you begin to make your way following the coordinates. Behind you, the Golden City leaves behind, and ahead, a roiling cloud of storm intertwined with the creature, which even at this vast distance you can still see. Now, it is
Prepare for those iron minions of it. They circled around and seemed to destroy our ships quite deftly. Aim for the stingers on their tails. They seem to destroy
on the
metal
tails.
quite quickly.
Right, you are.
the storm gets closer. And as it does, the wind and rain begin to pour. Thunder claps between these clouds and strikes these large pylons that are made of the spines of this creature. A Jacob's ladder of electricity arcs between each of these large appendages. The sound of thunder, almost loud enough that it seems like your eardrums are about to burst, as the electricity emanating from this creature continues to beat down upon the group with quite a vicious and ferocious nature. Apparently there are horses also in the sky somehow.
Yeah, no, the soundscape, like when you hit the storm, for some of there's horses there.
Apparently there are
All the
horses.
time. Yeah.
There are land horses and there are sea horses, so why shouldn't there be sky horses?
Exactly.
Very well.
Yes,
there is a
horses
sky
and
horse.
Valkyries, pay them no
There's a-
attention.
There's
Yes.
a Pegasus flies by.
Very
I
well.
love it.
Now, as you guys begin to make your way close, you see, of course, the signs of this creature's protectors. These almost symbiotic creatures that live in between and among the scaled body of the beast. You watch as they almost move like a swarm, moving in tandem. As one leads the way, they snake and move past. By the dozen, they seem to seek out and track down anything. You watch as a large bird seems to get into its wake, and in moments it is just simply torn asunder, and what little remains from the uneaten mass just drops down towards the earth. You fly in formation, following this creature and its length. And after about a couple of hours, you can see up ahead what looks to be a silver ocean of battleships. On the horizon, brandishing the symbols of the Silver Dragon Empire, is the Armada of Muir Baravast. They begin to open fire. A rain of lightning and blasts are exchanged as the Silver Swarm begin to move and intercept the ships. The battle.
Without a trace.
Very nice. The battle has begun. And as it does so, Brathkar, I need you to make 3 dexterity checks as you navigate between the arcing lightning and these huge and immense stingray-like steel objects.
Can I
Very well, sir.
assist again?
Yes, you may.
Good.
Port
Thank
side,
you.
45.
You've been on one of these before. Excellent.
Everyone on and around the ship, and possibly the ship itself, depending on if Dag allows it, is surrounded by darkened shadows from whatever this plane of existence Shadowfell-like energies would come from.
Very nice. In that, it is the shadow side of the Everwild. It kind of pretty much looks the exact same, except more impish, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like more like imagine like a what are they called, the noodle cartoons, like the noodle arms and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
All right.
So, 22,
Nice.
23,
Also nice.
and then I'm going to use my natural 20 token.
Nice.
Very well. With that third natural 20, several of the swarm break off and attempt to come down upon you. But by navigating and piloting, you've managed to pull away from the mass. However, 4 of them have made suit after you, and we are going to roll initiative as this small fleet has started to chase you.
Don't let them touch the ship.
Mine's a nat 20 with my token.
Okay. Yep.
Plus 4. 24 total, I guess.
Okay, yes, just bear with me for 2 seconds while I just get some of these hero points sorted. Okay. And guy has... Yes, cool. All done. All right, so initiative order, if you would be so kind.
24.
Also a 24.
All right, so what I normally do with this regard is Wolfwyn. Yeah, Wolfwyn and Duncan, you may act in tandem if you would like. Otherwise, you may decide who would like to go first and who would like to go second by your own decision. Tandem basically means you will get extra effects for doing teamwork abilities and
Oh,
stuff.
cool. Yeah,
So,
let's tandem it. Drift compatible. Let's go.
All right. Mary.
That's a Pacific Rim reference.
Yeah.
28.
28. Nice.
Ooh,
All right.
that's a spicy initiative.
Dotti.
I did not do so well. I am an 11.
You've also got nat 20 tokens if you really want to
That's true.
smash it out.
I'll use it for maybe hits.
And
stuff.
Brathkar.
I got a remarkable 7.
Yeah.
You've got 3 initiative
You got
tokens
it,
if you
yeah,
want to
your
give
initiative
yourself
tokens.
advantage on it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can definitely have inspiration.
Inspiration tokens, sorry.
Oh, inspiration tokens. I was like,
You
wait,
got
hang on.
3
What's an
inspiration,
initiative
yeah.
token?
Inspiration tokens is what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, I will
Take
spend-
advantage
I will
on the roll.
spend, oh, well, that doesn't really help.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll spend it in inspiration. That gives me an extra d6, right?
No.
It's a bardic inspiration. GM
Yeah.
inspiration is just a reroll.
Yeah,
Advantage.
you reroll. Yes,
Alright.
it's advantage.
Okay, so from a 7 instead. Oh, God. We get 5.
Well, you get to keep the 7 for that. Yeah. All right.
I feel bad. I'm gonna use one of my brand spanking new portents that I have. I'm going to look over thunder and rain whipping across Wolfwyn's features, and I'm going to say, Brathkar, I knew that this would happen. Pay attention. This is it. Stand as a hero, and then I'm gonna use my portent. You replace it with a 19.
Oh,
So
nice.
you will now get to add your initiative bonus towards that, pumping it up.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Nice. All right.
Dag, you can remove one of my nat 20s and one of a guy's red tokens.
Very well. I will do that as soon as I've got the initiative down. All right. So The initiative order, just so that everyone knows where we're at, is Mary, Wolfwyn, and Duncan, Brathkar, and Dotti. The creatures are going to go at the end because they got a 3.
Yeah, boy.
Because I rolled like trash.
Bad. I did not do well.
Okay.
How many are we seeing?
Okay, so
Like a
sorry,
set
what am I
of
taking
one?
off? I'm taking off one.
One of my nat 20s.
Yep.
One of Guy's red inspiration tokens.
Yep.
AJ, did you use anything? I don't believe you did, right? You just rolled well. You just rolled well.
Did we get a preparation spell, by the way?
No.
Okay.
Mostly because this is kind of like they'll be descending upon you before the surprise run happens. All right, Mary, you are up first. Now the 4 of them are at the aft of the ship, so they are literally coming up behind you. You are currently flying at the same height as them, so in terms of elevation, there's that. Now, Brathkar, what you can provide as information is that you have 3 different ways that you can interact with the creatures that are flying against you. First of all is with the ballistas that are available on the ship. The second is that all these ships come along the aft with gliders. Normally they were used for the children to help them get used to flying, but basically it is a backpack that attaches to a steel cable to the back of the vessel and allows creatures to move in a 3-dimensional space while wearing this backpack. The third is more for an advanced flyer, and it is a wingsuit. It is basically a glider that will cause you to plummet, but with proper usage, you can stay aloft indefinitely by using it. It's basically a full body jumpsuit that sort of automatically and magically attaches to you and has a wing that attaches from your hand to your feet and gives you a kind of like a false faux tail, as it were.
With the winged suit, I'm guessing dex saves to do that? I keep it up in the air? Or
yes, it'll be dex saves. Or
Now,
dex checks, sorry.
Are we to assume that the preparations were made, the tome was read, and the magic is in effect?
Correct. This
You read it then?
Yeah, at this point, well, we'll do the battle and then we'll decide who has it.
Sure,
just
cool.
time-wise. But yeah. All right.
Then I will have adorned the flying suit. And I'm immediately going to like launch myself off the back of the ship towards these 4 oncoming enemies.
All right. Without hesitation, Mary leaps, and the wind catches in her wingsuit. You fly straight towards these 4 creatures that are making their way towards you.
I would like to DM.
Yes.
I would like to approach the bench.
I would like to approach the bench.
Yes.
What my plan is to do is how close are they together?
They are okay. So each of these creatures are 10 foot in size. They're quite large. They are a single disc. They're actually large enough that you could step on them like a those surfboards that people fly on. Yeah. They are about 10 foot apart from one another. So it's a 10 foot kind of space between each of these creatures.
Then I will aim to. I don't know if I can demonstrate this. So I'm going to launch off, start flying, and duck underneath it, grab onto its stinger at the back, and pull it into one of the ones behind it.
Ooh, okay, risky. I will allow it. I will take your nat 20 for it.
Go for it.
And if you want to make it a dex check instead of a strength check to flip it into another, I will take a second nat 20 from you. Otherwise, it will be an athletics check on the second. But you can decide that retroactively.
My athletics is actually pretty good.
Oh, there you go. You're fine then. All right. So, leaping off, you begin to make your way downwards. As you nat 20 your flying maneuver, you zip from underneath you, and as you flip up, you grab hold and grasp onto the tail. You now need to make an athletics check to try and use your momentum to rotate in a horizontal axis to try and use it like a club and swing at one of the other creatures.
Oh, okay. I was trying to like yank it and stab its breath.
Oh, you want to stab it? Oh, I mean, yeah.
I figure my daggers or my arrows won't do anything to a metal stingray thing, but I figure its own stinger might be able to.
I see. All right, very well. In which case, you've grabbed onto it. I'm gonna say that you're flicking it up, and rather than hitting a different one, you can hit the same one.
Oh, with itself?
Yeah, so
Okay.
you're basically flipping up onto the top of it to drop that down and into it. All right.
I will roll.
Make it show.
athletics. 23.
23 is enough. You flip it back up, and as you get there, you bring it down and penetrate. I need 4d6 damage, please. As part of it begins to rust.
9.
9 points of damage. All right. Stingray number 1 takes 9 damage.
I don't know how disengage works in the sky, but can I bonus action push off that momentum and try and land on one of the others?
You will need an athletics check to jump across to another.
All right. 27.
Easy. You run along its wing length as it sort of rides and then pulls the stinger out of itself. You jump over and manage to land on a second one. It is not happy that you're there, as you could probably tell. But that is Mary's action, unless you have a bonus action you want to take.
No, I don't think I can do a bonus.
Well,
No.
all right.
No, that's all right.
Very well.
The moving was fine.
All right, Wolfwyn and Duncan.
All right.
What you got, Wolfwyn? What's your plan? I got very niche things that I can do, but I don't have a lot of utility spells like a wizard.
I'm very niche as well. Do you need to get close at all?
I mean, I can whip, so I can whip and I can nay. I can as part of my whipmaster feat, I can wrap my whip around things. I'm thinking maybe if I wrap around a tail, and then I can swing from it if needed. I can also teleport as part of my horizon thing.
How far away is it from? Are they from us? Does he need to somehow to get closer?
How far away is... they're about maybe 15 foot behind the ship.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna run up to Duncan, and I'm gonna move up to Duncan, and I'm gonna go. All right. Time to take flight. And then I pat him on the back, and as he does, these spectral green wings start to push out from behind him. You see the arcane feathers sort of drift to the ground as well, and I'm gonna cast fly on you.
Oh, nice.
So that's what happens there. That's what happens to you. And then I think that's all I can do on my turn. I'm gonna nod my hat towards
I'm
you.
going to use that. That's very useful now because otherwise I could teleport to them, make an attack, and then plummet. But now I can teleport to them, make an attack, and not plummet to my death, which is very useful, I find. So as I'm jumping off the back of the, because Duncan was going for it anyway, he was going to work out. That's for future Duncan's problem. He was jumping off the back of the ship anyway to like whip out at these things, and like he was going to hopefully like Indiana Jones swing from one to another or something. And now that just as he's leaving the ship, you give him flight. I see what Mary's done with the making one sting itself. I'm going to whip out to one of them, try and wrap it around a sting, and then swing underneath it and use the momentum to swing its stinger up into itself.
All right.
If that works. Let's
Very
find
well.
out.
Yep. Make
so
make an attack roll. Yep.
That's garbage. My last actually my inspiration token first. That's slightly better. 17.
17 is enough.
All right, 17. I whip around. I'm going to swing underneath it and try and use my momentum to whip its tail into itself.
All right, so now you're standing on top of it. You are trying to pull it down to have the stinger embed. Make a athletics check as you're pulling on your tether.
This is not too bad, I think. Athletics plus 6. 22, yeah.
22?
Yep.
Very well. With the 22, that will skewer it. Please make me a 48 points of damage.
48 points of damage. All right, here we go.
48 or 4d8?
4d8.
4d8. That's not bad. That's 9, that's 17, that's 22 points of damage.
22 points of damage. Done and done. As again, the wounds that you create seem to erode a thin layer of armor over its dermal plating, and then underneath that is flesh, just kind of like standard, like that you'd see on a fish, like kind of flesh. So it's not metal the whole way through.
I'm going to this thing doesn't looks wounded, looks dead, looks not even bothered by it. How much has that affected it?
It looks reasonably injured. I mean, probably another hit like that and it'd probably go down.
Okay, so I'm going to, in that case, use I can do an attack at various different creatures with my jumping about abilities. So I'm going to teleport from the back of this one 10 feet closer to another one and whip out at that one. Because you said there were a few of these things, yeah?
Yes, indeed.
So to hit and whip onto it, that's a 27 to hit.
That will hit.
I'll up onto its back and make the attack roll with the athletics check. That's garbage, so I'm going to use that nat 20 token for that.
All right, critical hit, 8d6 points of... Oh, well, 4d6 and then brutal... yeah, brutal crit. We'll do brutal crits.
4d8, 32 plus... that's 35, 38... 44, 49 points of damage.
All right, that creature dies, and you begin to plummet.
Yep, but because I've made 2 attacks against 2 different creatures, I can make a 3rd attack against another different creature. I whip over to the one that Mary's now on, and its sting has already plunged into it, so I'm just going to launch my attack with the whip itself. And before, as I do, as I teleport over towards it and bring the whip up, this sort of goose pimpled kind of crackling sensation to Duncan. It's not really visible from the outside, but Duncan feels this crackling run down his arm and into the weapon as he uses a bonus action to cast Planar Warrior, dealing extra force damage on the attack if it hits. Let's hope it hits, because I'm all out of tokens, everybody.
Yeah. Wolfwyn looks on proudly as the
19.
wind whips his face.
19?
Yeah.
All right. 19 will hit.
Yeah.
Right. So I do 2 extra d8 because of Planar Warrior. Then I do a d6 because of Whipmaster. So that's 7 plus that's 13. 13 plus 7 is 20 points of damage.
Nice.
All right.
Slashing damage.
That's the one I'm on?
That's the one you're on.
Well,
it has not gone down.
The game plan.
It has not gone down, but it is very injured.
I can fly now, so if you went down with it, I'd have grabbed you.
Well, that being said, the creature cannot support both of your weights, so it is.
I'm flying. I'm not on it.
Oh, so you're not putting your weight on it. Okay.
I teleported to within range for my whip.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing, Rob.
Now,
thank you.
now, ladies and gentlemen, I am a man of my word. And when I said that if you got me an extra $200, I would put in a bad guy. I meant if you gave me $200, I'd put in a bad guy. So, Captain Brathkar, as you're on the deck trying to sail and try to outmaneuver these stingrays that are coming towards you, you see a fireball heading down from the creature towards your deck.
Brace!
The fireball seems to slow as it approaches you. You brace as you prepare for impact. And what lands on your deck at center deck is this creature here.
Uh-oh.
A large creature of fire and stone, metal that is partially melted, lands in its center. You know this creature as one of the... it's kind of like an avatar of the Leviathan. But it is corrupted. It is corrupted beyond all belief by something or someone. It is covered in sharp blades and razor-sharp edges. It has horns more like a Tarask than the actual Leviathan itself. This creature now stands ready to attack. It seems to be assessing each of you. It looks over at Wolfwyn. It looks over at Dotti. It looks over at Duncan. And then when it matches your eyes, Brathkar, that rage, that fire, enhances. It is your turn. And thank you to our audience. Thank you to our audience.
Excuse me, Mr. Man of my word. You said that if Dread and I did a cool thing together, and he had helped me out with my attack somehow, there'd be some kind of bonuses.
Did awesome things.
Did he help you with your attack, though, or did he just get you?
I made him able to fly.
He helped me able to do the attacks.
Yeah, but that didn't really help your attack now, did it? That was more he did one thing and then you did another. You guys didn't do anything together.
Me and Robert are gonna let's go back to the writing the R&D room. We're gonna figure this out.
All right, Brathkar, it is your turn.
Very well. I take it that I have to sort of remain vaguely aware of the wheel.
Nope, not at all.
No?
Your elemental is perfectly capable of autopiloting.
All right, good. The elemental's going to be doing more than just that. Drak, make sure that you keep us no more than 50 feet away from our two flying friends. I don't want them to fall too far. I then step slightly away from the wheel, not too far away, because the elemental sometimes is a bit temperamental. It believes upside down is a good way to fly as well, which I'm just not fond of. I then pull my hands back and, uttering something very guttural in Draconic, pull out of the air this lightning bolt and then just throw it directly at this large creature. It gets to make an intelligence saving throw as the lightning bolt plays around its face and then crawls in between its ears into its brain and just tries to electrocute it neurologically.
All right. It is going to try and make its intelligence saving throw. Its intelligence is 6. It gets a 6.
That would be a fail.
Are you sure? I'd like you to double check just to be certain.
Yeah, I'm not saying it, but that would be a fail.
It also happens to be vulnerable to electricity, actually.
Nice.
So.
Boy. Okay, 10, 18, 29, 34, 38 points of electrical damage.
Is that
psychic damage?
Is that with
psychic damage?
Oh, psychic damage. Oh,
Psychic
so
damage.
okay. So the bolt of psychic energy rises through your hands, and as it flows out, it goes into its head. You watch as its eyes ignite and light up, and does a nice chunk of damage to it. As it lights it up, you notice that the creature and its armor appear to be both metal, and the flesh, or at least where it would have flesh, is actually crystal. This then brings us, unless there's a bonus action you would like to do.
As a matter of fact, there is, if you wouldn't mind, I would just like to move my token, jump over the railing, land on the deck, and move so that I'm within 5 feet of Wolfwyn.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah.
You land on the deck again, Wolfwyn. For the second time now, you watch as the weight of the landing is much harder than you imagine his actual weight to be. As he walks up to you.
I can't say anything because it's my turn.
Okay. Well, you could. But...
I'm gonna say my reaction.
All right, Dotti, it is your turn.
Okay. I think what I would like to do. Sorry, you can tell that I thought a lot about this at the start of the encounter, and then did not reconsider anything as combat kept going. But I think what I would like to do is use my alter self spell to give myself wings.
Nice.
So that way I can kind of fly through the air and shoot.
Very well.
And be able to potentially pick up anyone who might be riding, whipping, whatever, you know.
Like that, Ellie.
Yeah, I'm phrasing it exactly like that. And you can you can donate to the charity. Sorry. But my other question is, as a bonus action, because my hound is made out of shadows, would it still be able to, like, go through the air, or does it need to run on land?
Because you're actually in a storm cloud, I'll say that there are enough shadows and dark places for it to stand on.
Yeah. Well, I only said because you described it as, like, heaps of dark, and I'm like, yes, come on.
I'll take it.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, so that'll be my turn. Kind of, maybe, I don't think they're going to be very stylish. Oh, yeah, let's go for a bit of style. Kind of like blue eagle wings. sprout out of her back because they need to be sturdy enough to support her weight.
There's a giant American flag that just starts.
Oh, say, can you see? Great. So I've done that, and I will spend the sorcery points, and they will target. Oh gosh. So we have the stingray things, and then.
Yep.
What else am I looking at combat-wise?
There is this large suit of armor that is apparently an avatar of the Leviathan, attacking on the ship.
Yeah, I just don't think my dog is gonna be enough to even. I'll send him after that. Go, Dexter, make mommy proud. Because I mean the stingrays don't need that much. Yeah, that's my turn. So I kind of like shoot off into the air, ready my gun, and summon Dexter to go after the armored thing.
All right. Dexter rushes forward and goes after the armor thing.
Yay.
Is Dexter in any way bothered that the last time you summoned him and sent him after something you got completely one-shots?
It's like you've never had a dog.
All right. The cutest puppy in the world. Well, one of the cutest. There's many cute puppies.
All right. Well, Dexter is going to use his action in order to try and bite this creature.
Right.
Dexter rolls a 2 and gets a 7 in total. As he chomps down and bites the leg of this creature, his teeth don't seem to be able to penetrate its thick armor. Which then brings us to the stingrays. The stingrays are going to immediately try to jettison Mary. Let's start with that one. So Mary, could I get you to make me a athletics check as this creature starts to do a barrel roll while you're on top of it?
Athletics to hold on.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can fall. I mean, that's your choice.
29.
You managed to hang on. Now, Duncan, you are flying, but you are still lashed on. Do you wish to continue being lashed, or do you wish to untether your whip?
I will both actually, because as a whipmaster, I can make an attack of opportunity at it as it enters any space in my melee range. So as it's moving and doing aerial maneuvers, I will untether my whip and then do another attack at it.
All right, make your attack.
Hey Mary, you're gonna be fine, right?
Yeah.
I'm a coming.
That is a nat 20 token, is what that is.
Yeah.
So it's going to take
Maximum damage.
oh, sorry, I'm rolling its own sting. That's not the right thing. It is 16 points of damage. Slashing damage.
All right, that is dead. As it falls, the whip snaps the wound in half, causing it to perforate partway through as it falls to the ground. Mary, you are in a free fall, but your wingsuit will prevent you from just plummeting. The remaining 2 stingrays are going to make their way to the port and starboard side wings. As they do so, they begin to fly. Apparently Rob has another nat 20. I don't know. I feel like that's a lie.
No, they've been tracking
nah,
it.
you're good.
I trust.
Well, what I'm gonna
So well.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the
All these
stingrays.
people with stacks of them, and I've got one because I'm using them.
Yeah,
And he's arguing
I
over whether
can't
I've
use
got
a
it.
natural 20 token on fly, Rob. It will happen.
I'm gonna use the opportunity here to burn 1,
Oh my
2
gosh.
nat 20s,
Oh my gosh.
and both of them sting the sides of the ship where the wings are. You watch as immediately the wings start to twist downwards, and you drop. Everyone is now considered flat-footed as they leave the deck from the sudden shift in the ground.
Oh, we're playing 5e.
I'm saying flat-footed, the term and the word, not the mechanic that apparently you don't have, because why have mechanics that are like sensible and...
Stop trying to backpedal.
He
You just
gave me
didn't know the
encumbered
flat-footed
last
was-
night. I was like,
If-
what's encumbered?
You know what I was gonna do?
Encumbered?
You
What
know
is
what I was gonna
encumbered?
do? I was gonna hit
Encumbered.
Guy with my nat 20 as he was now flat-footed.
it,
But you know what I'm gonna do? Do you know what I'm gonna do just for you? I'm gonna have this creature reach its arm out.
Oh my gosh.
And as it does, it uses its catastrophe power.
Yeah, boy.
And Duncan,
Boy.
you are pulled into melee range with this suit of armor.
Yeah,
Oh
boy.
my gosh, let's go! How does it do it, Dag?
Hey guys,
So-
I need some net 20 tokens.
Yeah.
As Duncan, who is innocent in all this, by the way, as Duncan's like, yeah, I did it. All of a sudden, it's almost as if some cosmic force has suddenly wrenched Duncan mid-air to fly across the deck and into the hands of this giant armored beast, who then raises.
Hey Guy, on your series How to Be a Great GM, do you advise for or against punishing a player for in-character decisions?
Think wisely, given that I've still got all
Punishing
my
a
initiative.
character out of character.
Think
decisions.
wisely before you answer that, guy,
using
because
another
I've
natural
still
20
got
token.
3 hero points here.
He's using
Yeah,
another
I
natural 20
reserved
token.
my commentary. I also completely accepted the term flat-footed because I'm also that old, Michael.
Thank you. All right, it is going to land a critical hit with its immutable great axe, which
I can't help you, Rob. we learned last night the natural 20 tokens count as
Yeah.
not rolling, so
Yeah.
I can't do anything about that.
all right. So that is
Take it.
31
Yeah, you got
points of damage from the axe
Yeah.
as it swings down and cuts into your form. But the wound is not bleeding. It's almost as if your wound is drawing in to itself. As it almost looks like a puckered scar on your body from the cut.
Ouch.
It has multi-attack.
Do it.
Uh,
Not 20 tokens.
no, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna burn my.
Well, now, boy.
You're gonna burn your inspo.
No.
I'm gonna burn my inspo. My inspo. My inspo's gonna, and he's gonna headbutt you.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, ow.
Yeah.
That would hurt from a guy in a metal suit.
That is a natural 20.
I'm going to use my portent and
Yeah.
change that to a 7.
Nice. What now, boy?
What up, boy? It's like, watch out, the head's
You're
coming
not
for
gonna-
you!
Yeah, I'm not gonna learn the
That's why you
lesson
go
of not
fast, Robert,
antagonizing the
go
DM. What now, boy?
Does anyone want to give me a nat 20 right now? Just saying. I mean, I could
Too late,
buy
you've
the
already
next.
You've already made
It's
it.
retroactive,
People
guys.
Yeah,
don't
it's
hold
fine.
out.
All right.
Fine.
So as the
yeah, sorry.
Okay, so as the blade goes to hit, you watch as the portents, the divination portents kicks in, and Duncan, just for a fleeting moment, there's this flash that you should probably duck, and you do so just as he is about to cleave you from above your eyebrow, as the blade just whizzes past you. He then drops you to the ground, because he's not grappling you, and that is where he is done. Back to the top of the round. Mary, it is your turn. You are currently falling downwards.
I'm going to use my abs to like crunch and throw my body up again in order to catch wind within the mechanism and fly up.
Yeah, not a problem. Actually, the trick to it is you have to go down at a greater speed and then do the crunch, which you kind of instinctively are going to try.
Yeah, okay.
Athletics check. Yeah, because currently you're going like this. What you need to do is you need to go like that, which is kind of, yeah.
23.
Just buy 3 nat 20s with your own money, Dag. I don't have the room to do it on my computer right now.
So that was a 23.
23 will do it. So you make it back up to the same elevation roughly as the ship itself. You can see the 2 stingrays chewing through the side wings. You can't see the creature that they're fighting in the middle of the ship, but you can hear the sounds of battle.
That's all right. I'm going to, now that I have a bit of upward momentum, I'm going to drop the wings and launch straight down into one of the stingrays. I'm gonna use my dagger, and I'm gonna have a nat 20 on that. So do you do damage the same way that's done for the previous 2 games?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So 58 plus plus 40.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
okay.
I guess.
Why not?
Now, boy.
So I'm gonna get you to as you hit this creature, you are hitting it at such a velocity, it just literally snaps off. You can still see the sting wrapped around the wing, but there's just no stingray attached to it. As you land on the wing, you can watch this creature plummeting, but just on the other side of the ship, the other one is still at large.
Do I have enough to get to that other one for another attack, though?
Probably not. Let me just check here. It is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 foot across to get to the other wing.
No, I wouldn't be able to. Okay, I think Mary May is going to, now that she's destroyed that, unwrap its stinger from the wing and climb back up onto the deck of the ship.
All right, that is not a trouble. You are now next to Dotti on the ship. You can see up ahead now. You can see this large creature surrounded by the others.
Not a problem.
All right. Next up, we go to Wolfwyn and Duncan.
All right, seeing that my good friend Duncan is in the clutches of this metallic monstrosity, Wolfwyn is going to drop concentration on those gorgeous spectral wings, and instead is going, all right, Duncan, it's time to go big! I'm going to push out my staff, and as I do, see these vines start to wrap around it and throw out towards Duncan's direction, and I'm going to cast prestidigitation. No.
Yeah, after all that.
I'm going to clean his clothes.
All right.
He tastes different.
Room, and now you need to become one. I'm going to turn him into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Oh, yeah, boy. Let's go. Now, Dag, I believe that he will get some sort of attacks as a Tyrannosaurus Rex, so perhaps I am helping on those attacks this time.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't been clear about combination stuff, but I'm not going to blame you for that. I'll take that on board.
We're trying our best.
You are.
We got nothing that works together.
It is a tricky thing.
It's not like one of us is a barbarian Goliath and another one's a dwarf that he can throw. It's like
quite literally, yeah. So I would say that there would be these arcane sigils that sort of work down the Tyrannosaurus Rex's form, and the eyes glow green as well, much like the obsidian owl that you saw earlier with his fine familiar.
Look, Dread, I have this token, okay? It's what you got.
Bring the pain.
Dag. So Wolfwyn was trying to polymorph me into a T-Rex from my world, but it's Wolfwyn casting it, and we're in your world. So which T-Rex am I using?
Yeah, which T-Rex?
One with teeth. Jesus.
Can I use my T-Rex?
Yeah, sure. You can use your T-Rex if you're petitioning for that.
Said from your world. So
very well.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm a T-Rex from my world.
But I love wizards.
Yeah, they're great.
It's just so great.
All right. In that case, dinosaurs. Let me scroll down. I'm gonna on my turn. What do I think I'm gonna do? Let me think. I'm gonna try and bite this guy in half. I think maybe. So firstly, I'm gonna use a frightful presence because I got that now as a T-Rex.
Yeah. Wait, is that for it?
It is immune to fear.
How about all of this? Other thingies.
It is immune to charm, exhaustion, frighten, paralyzed, petrified, poison.
No,
but what about the mantis?
Thanks for that, but I meant the mantises.
Oh, the mantises, like praying mantises. Those things. How big is your aura?
120 feet.
Yeah, they're not. Okay, let's have a look. That is a 14, 6, 15, 16, 16?
16 is enough, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so they're not frightened.
Well, there's only one left.
Oh, really? It is not frightened. Then I'm going to try and make a stomp at this thing. What size category is it?
It is large.
Cool. I can attack a large or smaller target with my stomp. That is a lot to hit. 30. I think 30 hits. Does it 30 hit?
No, it just misses.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, that'll hit.
In that case, 1, 2, and a 3. Oh, shoot, D20, D10. Actually, which one's better, my stomp or my... Yeah, I'll save it for the bite. Have I got... I'm just going to double check. Have I only got one nat 20 token right now? I do, one nat 20 token. So I will save it for the bite. That's 18 plus... That's 25. 25 plus 8 is 33 points of bludgeoning damage. And it is grappled and must succeed on a strength saving throw or be knocked prone. Oh, sorry, it needs to succeed on the strength saving throw or be knocked prone and grappled.
Very well. It is not going to do anything. It is going to allow you to knock it prone and grapple. But as you do so, it is going to erupt into a shower of razor-sharp swords that erupts into your foot.
Ah! Ah, Lego! Ouch! Ah!
You take 20 points of damage from blades sticking into your leg.
I eat 20 points of damage for breakfast.
I can do it again if you want.
Which is not good for my teeth.
I mean, like, you probably still have plenty of health.
Was that like a reaction or was that like its death throw?
No, anytime you hit it with a melee attack, it does that.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm about to do it again because I'm a T-Rex and I got an intelligence of 4. I don't put the two together, so I'm going to reach down now. It's pinned under my foot. I'm going to bite it by the other end. I'm going to use my nat 20 token on this one. Actually, let's roll in case it's a nat 20 anyway. Nope, 2. So nat 20 token on this one, which means I'm going to max out 3d12 is 36 plus 8 is 44. 44 plus 3d12, 44. That's 54. That's 61. 61 plus 6 is 67. So close to the nice number.
Nice. Oh, so close. You know what? It's 69 just because.
69
All right.
damage.
So, as you step on it and then reach down, you clamp down on this creature and you pull up. You don't rip it in half, but you hear this audible as this midsection that's made of crystal starts to tear and break under the strain of it. You do, however...
I'm literally eating 20 points of 20 points of damage for breakfast.
Actually, more accurately, you ate 21 points of damage for breakfast.
Well, in that case, I'm dead. No.
All right. So, again, shards fly into you, but it has revealed its midsection as you've pulled it, kind of like pulled its armor up, and it's exposed like one of its vulnerable sides. Captain, my captain.
And we're $70 away from another random bad guy, by the way, guys.
Oh yeah, the $70 is the step up.
We get a bad guy.
We're still fighting the previous random bad guy, and we're $70 away from the next one as well.
I think we should get our own bad guy to use against another bad guy.
Oh yeah.
It alternates, right?
Yeah, that's what I think.
I mean, who knows? Maybe someone will be nice and give you a magic item, and
$100 for a magic item.
I also want to take a moment to say that we are so cool. We're literally on an airship with a Tyrannosaurus Rex that's destroying a robot crystal person.
D&D, man.
I love Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, that's my turn. I'm a frightful presence. I've done 2 attacks and I've taken some damage for it.
Yep, it is the captain's turn.
Indeed. I shall once again pull the lightning from the air and fire it into the creature's mind with as much intensity as possible. An intelligence saving throw, if you please.
All right. It gets a natural 1.
Yay!
That is exactly what we want to hear, because then it takes...
now, boy.
I'm going to re-roll that because bollocks to that. I'm going to use one of my coveted points. Thank you. And I'm going to roll that, and I am going to gain a natural 1.
What now, boy?
Hey, Rob, can we just check the odds on that, please?
1 in 400.
Oh no! So you had 1 in 400 of that happening. How's it feel, Dad?
It feels like it doesn't feel good.
It feels good for us.
So, Guy, what happens here as you penetrate its psyche?
Again, this force just rips into its mind, only dealing 28 points of psychic damage.
But that is enough. As the creature shatters, Rob, you pull the other half off as the psychic energy flows into it. That crack gets bigger and it shatters. Now, as it shatters, the ground beneath the creature opens up as it's like kind of almost like this gelatin mixed with shards of red crystal, flow out. You hear this large roar as the creature begins to move and shift. Its body heaves faster and more angrily than it had before as the creature dies. What stands before you? Let's see if I can do this.
Yeah.
Penetrating from the cloud cover, you see this creature. The head of the mighty beast. Like a giant whale with rows of teeth, an empty void rises above you, blotting out the sun. Red spheres, each as big as a citadel itself, starts to make its way down towards you. A thunderous, an incredible sound rains down from above you, the sheer pressure pushing you to the ground. As you watch, Captain, you try to call out to your ship to get you out of there. The engines flare blue and they push hard. As this happens, you're all holding on. Mary, you're kind of grabbed onto the railing. Wolfwyn, you're sort of holding on. Duncan is rolling backwards, but luckily hits the rise up to the helm in his giant tyrannosaur form. As the ship lurches forward, it disappears into darkness.
I guess Goodberry.
It thinks you're delicious.
Oh no.
All right.
Don't get the snacks to lure it in.
You can't cast your Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, thanks for ruining my joke.
Do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, actually,
That was definitely being serious.
All right. So, your eyes begin to adjust to a darkened room. At first, it seems as though you may have died. There's no pain, there's no suffering, there's no sorrow here. But then as your eyes begin to adjust, you find yourself in a library. A boarded up and otherwise barren space that looks much like this, with a large red portal at its heart. As each of you look around, the areas here look like it has been ransacked, like someone had pulled books from the shelf and thrown them to the floor, but the books are blank. You see notes being scribbled down. You see lots of artist renditions of blades and weapons, each then scratched up, but all looking different. Some looking close, but not quite like Senzo. As this happens, you see muttering to themselves and moving back and forth from from shelf to shelf, a figure that is familiar to some. You see this creature. Nope. Let's try again.
Mary?
Mary is the villain the whole time. All right. You see a Goliath, panicked, concerned. Where is it? Where is it? I know it's here somewhere. It must be. It has to be. The noise it takes. It screams, it buckles, it bends, but it never breaks. I will never break. No, say I. You all see this creature. You look beyond it, and the window leading outside that's boarded up leads to an endless void, an empty space that you can see stars in. Captain Brathkar.
quick point of order, GM. Who decided to cast the spell on them whilst reading the book? As we forgot to establish that.
We flash back now to the ship. Each of you stand in a circle around the captain's quarters with the book in the center. The codicil opened, and you can see this winding series of circular runes floating in the air. In order to activate the rune, somebody must place their hand into the series of rings and then move it so that it basically wraps around their forearms and hand. It is up to you as to who would like to do this.
Who is willing to volunteer to be the one for first?
We had several that would volunteer.
Yeah.
Duncan was happy to. Wolfwyn was. Mary was.
It seems like we came to the agreement that
Should we draw straws?
maybe Mary and Duncan would be on team get close, and then the rest of us would be team distraction.
Yeah.
Based on dexterity and whatnot. But that's just from what I remember.
We ruled out Dotti because she's a mother. No one would let her be anywhere near a sacrifice of any kind.
I am fine. As Duncan, I think I would have been fine with the plan of I pass without a trace and get Mary and I close. With Mary getting a 46 possible on stealth, she can just like walk straight up to it and touch it, hopefully. So I'm of the opinion that it should have been Mary.
Yeah. Wolfwyn sees himself as an echo, so like he knows that there's others like him, so the only thing he wanted resolved with Mary was that she was sure about doing it, because he believes that there are more like him that sort of exist outside of that space, but he doesn't know if there's echoes of Mary.
I don't think there needs to be any echoes of me.
I don't know how it works here, but death is not as absolute as people think. I've been to planes of existence that have ghosts, spirits, specters, remnants, souls. They call them different things in different places, but people tend to live on. They just move from one plane to another.
Then there are there's like the plane where Kalimvor sits, and those that do not follow gods or whatnot aren't a part of the soul economy. There's a good chance that your soul will be fused with the fugue plane, there forever wailing, lost to the annals of time and space. Are you sure you want to do this, Mary?
Yes. From the amount of people I've sent there myself, I deserve it.
Oh.
You deserve the world, Mary. And, that's from someone who, despite, all efforts, we've never been that close. But if you're going to be brave enough to put your ass on the line, well, we're going to fight like hell to make sure that you stay safe. And I can promise you that.
I'm not wanting to die. I want to clarify. This isn't a suicide mission. I'm just saying that out of all of us, I'm fine with it.
With those somber words lingering in the air, Mary steps up to the book and places her hand into the well. The words inscribe upon her hands and continue to move even though they are now imprinted on your forearm. All you must do now is reach out and grasp the sword's true form. We now return as you see this pacing creature. Who? Where? Where have you come from?
Is that
Can I-
the blade?
Can I ask, the portal you mentioned, is that different to, you said there's like an endless void? Is that through the portal?
Yes.
So it seems like a teleportation-y portal, not like a window portal.
Correct.
Yeah, cool.
It is as you see here.
Yeah.
Answer me.
As Planar Warrior, Horizon Walker-y dude, I've got an ability called Detect Portal. Could I use that to glean any information about that portal and where it might lead, or anything about it? How long it's been there? How long it'll?
What happens? What happens as you try to gain any information on it? Your mind begins to glitch. Your vision changes, and almost bits and fragments try to jam and sort of switch. You can see almost like static appearing the harder you try to think about what's on the other side of this portal.
Ow, stop that. Ooh, okay, pull back.
Is that Duncan? The blade?
You don't want to go through that portal.
That blade you wield. Are you it?
The blade. Yes. Once, my name. It's so far. It's so soft. Quiet.
Wolfwyn's gonna start moving ahead to sort of like draw the attention away from the others. The others can follow it in suit if they like.
Having seen the blade, the shield starts to glow again, and then my eyes do the similar sort of glowing irises thing, and I cast Locate Object, thinking about the blade.
It is this creature that stands before you.
Wolfwyn. It's this one.
Very well. I'm going to slowly grab my staff. My eyes are going to flash green, and I'm going to start shifting as I cast Blur on myself. We're going to move closer than about 5 to 10 feet away, if possible. Let's go 10 feet for now and see what happens.
As you do so, it looks towards you and says,
"Easy, friend."
Friend. You are friends?
Once upon a time, yes.
I need help. I was supposed to do something. I was supposed to protect. No. Kill.
I will show you who will die this day. I immediately transform into my original form, Michael.
Let's go! I flick my eye over my shoulder looking out at this because I've been like seeing the clues.
All right.
Yeah.
We made 2,000, by the way.
Let's go! Woo!
All right. Well, this is actually quite appropriate timing.
Right fitting.
All right. So.
Also, I make quick eyes at Duncan to be like, if we're gonna hide or disappear at any point, now's the time.
I was kind of, I didn't want to interrupt moments, but I speak as Dread's character was walking forwards.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to do, is draw the eye.
I spoke quietly to you in Elvish, hoping that your Elvish is the same as mine. And I said, he's the sword, he's the blade, he's the one we're looking for. We need to get close, hands on. And then I cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
Let's go.
All right. All of a sudden, there is this tyrannical roar that begins to rise up from deep within Captain Brathkar's voice. His body begins to shift and change. His armor melds into his person, and all you see is the silvery gleam of this glorious form as it rises to its full height. A silver dragon.
But dragons left your world, dude.
I know.
It's a dragon.
An ancient true dragon. Its breath caught in its nose as these silver motes of sparks rise up. As this happens, the whole building begins to tremble. As we hit our $2,000 mark, we're going to change map super quickly as what you see emerge from the portal are these writhing and winding tendrils. These each, massive, begin to reach out and try to grab at the dragon that is now imposing its form. As it does so, one of these tendrils reaches and grabs hold of the giant. It grabs him and wrenches his body in twain. And as the body and the form drips crimson blood from its hole. The sword embeds into the ground here. And for the last time today, can I have our our lovely players roll initiative for us?
Let's go.
All right, if you've got anything left in you guys, we need all the Nat 20 tokens and the inspiration tokens, and all of it's for Jasper's game day. Really appreciate any donations, even if it's $1 or $2. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, every little bit.
Every little bit helps people
100%.
with mental health awareness, suicide prevention. Let's remember why we're
so
here.
important.
Let's end
Just
on a
think
real high
about
note.
how much you spend on dice.
Just for a second, have that consideration.
Yeah, and
Realize
just,
how much
you know,
how many dice you have.
Maybe don't buy any more dice this week.
Dag, I
Yes.
also rolled with Pass Without a Trace, 38 on stealth.
Wow. I'm gonna allow the stealth, but it will only be for Senzo. The only reason being is because this place is the Leviathan. There is nowhere to hide, as it is the creature itself. But Senzo, however, is unaware, meaning that there is actually a check involved with grabbing it, and I will give you advantage on that check.
Okay.
All right, Captain, what do we get?
My initiative is 19.
19, very nice. Okay. Duncan.
11.
All right, Dotti.
17.
All right, Wolfwyn.
I rolled really poorly. I got I think it was 13.
All right,
double
and
check.
Mary.
27.
Nice. All right. And then the tendrils roll a nat 20, but they
Oh,
still go
boy.
after Mary, so that's a 24.
I'm going to use my silvery barbs because technically it's a skill check. So
Is it a skill check?
It is.
yeah, it is.
It rolls a second natural 20.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'm gonna paste it in Discord just so that I can prove it.
No, I trust.
Oh,
I
mate.
have
Yeah, no, we
100%
totally trust you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Very well. But I still want to do it because I've done 2 natural 1s, 2 natural 20s, all with a digital dice roller, and I'm calling shenanigans in some way.
Yeah.
All right.
Advantage to Captain Brathkar as the firecrackers finish their trajectory, and I point off, hopefully bolstering inspiration, being a silver dragon and silvery fireworks happening.
All right.
Nice. I've got a nat 20 token, by the way.
Very well. I will add that in a moment.
And,
Okay.
And 2 inspirations.
2 inspirations and a nat 20 token. Very well. Okay, so we're starting with Mary.
Like a spy from a 80s movie going through laser beams, Mary is going to quietly duck and weave through tentacles as best she can to get to that sword.
Okay. I need you to make me an insight.
See me.
Yeah, I know you need you to make an insight check.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
17.
All right. You are aware that all of these tentacles are primed. If you were to move through them, they would all simultaneously be able to restrict you. You look at it and just your instinct is if you go right now, it'll hit you with everything it's got. The group needs to kind of pull them away before making your way in. And the reason why you can tell is as you step forward to move, one of the tendrils reacts and move and kind of like looks, it kind of doesn't look in your direction, but kind of wriggles
Moves, yeah.
as if it's like a sensor almost.
I'm gonna reach out and grab Mary then and say, let me draw its attacks.
Alright, I can't hold an action though. 'cause
Yes,
it's
you can.
movement. Can I hold movement?
You can, yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you
hold it.
can.
You can hold your action. Happy for that.
Whole movement.
Alright.
Just let me know when you would like to interject.
As soon as the first 2 tentacles or the tentacles that are able to reach me are like distracted or doing other things, I'm going to bolt at the sword.
Sure. In which case, we then go to Captain Brathkar.
I launch myself into these tentacles in a desperate attempt to get them to attack me.
All right. You open your mouth.
I'm gonna basically make my attacks. I have multiple attacks. Just try and interpose and hit as many of those tentacles as I can.
Very well. So you're just going to use your physical attacks for now?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've got 2 bites, 1 bite and 2 claws.
All right. You watch as 2 of the tendrils reach up and lash, and they just sort of wrap around you. You use your claws to push one away and bite down on this fleshy tendril, and you then pull back on it as you then scratch at another. You may roll, just roll your d20s, and I will tell you how you do.
Very good, my lord.
You've got a bite, 2 claws, and a tail.
Correct. So the bite hits an armor class of 23, and the claws both hit armor classes above 30.
Do you want to use your tail as well?
If I can make a 4th attack, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be 20. I've never added these big numbers before. 24.
That'll succeed. All right, so you get 2d10 plus 10. I'm just going to give you the full total here. So that is 2d10 plus 46 plus 2d8 plus 30.
Yes. I'll roll those in the meantime.
Yep, and then we will come back to you. As basically you watch this epic battle between this dragon that is biting, chewing, and lashing against these 2 tendrils. The captain is holding off these 2 by himself. Dotti.
You muted?
Silent wizard!
I think I would like to cast Mirror Image. Just to kind of psych out this thing.
All right.
And not let it know where I'm at. And then I will, of course, as usual, use some of my sorcery points to summon the classic Dexter. Who may or may not be played by my dog Bowser.
I've just thought, shouldn't Dexter be a Labrador? So it's Dexter's Lab.
Oh.
Hey.
I mean, who can? It would have to be a black lab since he's made out of shadows. And I will get him to just charge forward at the thing and, again, distract, buy us time, whatever he can do.
All right.
Do it, Dex.
Cool. So it is biting, it is attacking, it is mauling these tendrils.
Good boy.
All right. Okay. Which brings us then to Wolfwyn.
All right.
You have blur already affecting.
That's true. Now, GM, question: how big is the portal?
The portal is 20 foot wide.
I'm gonna try something. I don't know how it's gonna work. I have an awesome description, so I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna just ask whether or not this is gonna work. I would like to use my 8th level spell slot to cast anti-magic field in the core of the portal, hoping to diffuse it and severing the tentacles.
Okay.
Bold move.
I will take both your nat
Let's
20s
see.
for that.
All right, let's do it. Okay, cool. So this whole sort of like adventure, Wolfwyn has been gathering and showing the magic and his relationship with magic. He's about to do something that he doesn't really like to do, and which is to push away the effects of magic. He brings his staff down. He starts whispering to himself. His hat comes down as well. His eyes twitch as the hat moves as well, and he's going to start to cast anti-magic field. Wisps of green energy threads start to weave around him and push off in all directions towards the portal. And as they start to strand out to the portal, they start to flail and break and push away. Using both natural 20 tokens, I'm going to cast an anti-magic field right there, hoping to close down the portal.
All right. I need you to make an Arcana check, please.
All right. That's going to be a 27.
All right, let's see how we go.
Right.
It's not a guarantee. It's actually more of a 50-50 with that one, but let's
Hells yeah.
see how it goes. That gets a 34. So unfortunately, as you oppose and you push against this creature, its mind, you feel... It almost feels like you're back home in Okanash with a rope tied around one of the great trees and you are trying to pull against it. Its mass is something beyond fathom. as you are trying to sever it from its power.
All right. It's not enough.
Well, dang.
It's not enough.
But at least he took both your nat 20 tokens to let
Yeah.
you try it.
Yep.
That's true. There you go. Duncan, it's your turn. What do you want to give me your nat 20 for?
I can't say it on stream. I remember. I remember a time that back home I went to our version of the Feywild, and I had an interaction there with an Archfey council, one of which was a rather tricksy kind of a fella in a kind of jester's kind of harlequin outfit, and he was very hard to pin down with anything, literally, and he taught me an ability to avoid being captured, an ability to sort of manipulate your body into fluid-like states, and I will practice that now. I will cast Freedom of Movement on myself, and then I will step forwards and deliberately approach as many of the tentacles as I can to try and trigger their attacks on me.
All right. This will trigger 2 attacks as 2 of them are restrained. Let's see how this goes. One is at a 25. The second is at a natural 1, but I'm going to roll that one again with my inspiration and get a 32.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
These are attacks.
All right.
Yeah, these are attacks.
The 32, or if there's a natural 20 in the mix, I'm going to.
There's no nat 20.
And a 32.
Okay, silvery barbs on one of them.
All right. Very well.
And I don't see Mary, do I?
No,
He's
she is
not
very
so.
concealed from you guys.
Okay,
It gets a
then-
28 for its replacement.
Okay.
28. They're still gonna hit.
Okay, so that's 31 and 32 damage.
For the first one that hit, I am going to use a reaction to turn my body almost half ethereal, using spectral defense and taking half of that damage. So I'll take 16 and then 32.
All right. As you make your way across,
I nat 20 my concentration check on the pass without trace, and then with the other one, I will use one of my inspiration tokens, and I will use my nat 20 token because I don't want to drop pass without trace on Mary.
all right.
Cool. I'll take that damage.
Are both the tentacles engaged?
Yes, they are. They are now.
Yeah.
So as they've
Interrupt.
whipped,
You
they
can
seem.
interrupt my turn. I've still got my actions and stuff, but
Yeah.
they're now both engaged. If you want to interrupt,
I just, yeah,
I'll go after me.
because I was
so-
holding my action
Yeah,
until
yeah.
that was happening.
So you're
and if
rushing.
They're not engaged by the end of your turn. I'm gonna like rush in to get my hands on that sword.
Okay, you reach out, and as you rush, you reach your hand forward to try and grasp the handle. As this occurs, I'm gonna eat 3 nat 20s, which I've just been gifted. because they have the
Why do you
tendrils.
hate us, chat? Why do you hate us?
the tendrils from the portal suddenly start to pour outwards. Now, I do apologize. We are going to switch this because we've got 5 minutes to wrap. As the portal opens, tendrils pour out over Mary. Mary disappears in the tendrils and is being forced back. Not by large ones, but by thousands of tiny little ones that are trying to keep you away from the sword. You still see it just within reach as they're pushing you back. Dotti, I need you to make me... tell me what you're doing as you see this.
As I see Mary kind of disappearing, I think she'll just like fire off some sort of spell around the mass, you know, just to kind of like lash out at it.
All right, you begin to fire at the tendrils. They start to pull away. Bits and pieces start to fall out. Duncan, what about yourself? These tendrils are just kind of basically just overwhelming Mary.
I will use the feature that I've just given myself, the freedom of movement, to just I can just expend 5 feet of movement to escape from any restriction, regardless of what it is.
Yep.
So I just tentacle myself almost and just.
And you're like kind of passing
right
through
out
it.
of them. and I'm just going to pass through all of the tendrils, and I'm just like limber as anything. I've turned into a spaghetti noodle, and I'm just like between all of the different things. I'm making my way to her, and if I need to, I've got Misty Step as well to get that extra little distance.
All right, you kind of end up at the back of Mary, and you're kind of bracing her, stopping her from being forced too far backwards. Wolfwyn, what about yourself?
Right now, Wolfwyn severed much of his magic using the anti-magic, so he's just going to start running in to sort of use that anti-magic influence upon whatever he can.
Can I give you something instead?
Sure.
Your body is devoid of magic.
Yeah.
In your hand is a single gooseberry.
Goodberry.
Goodberry.
What did I say? It's just a regular gooseberry, like nothing special. You have a goodberry in your hand.
The last time I ate the goodberry, it was pain.
It was.
Yeah, this one tastes like a cooked goose.
Let's try it.
Yeah, gooseberry.
As you do so, you have access to 1 9th level spell of your choice.
Make it weird.
Okay.
Go for it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't know this was coming. I don't know what I want. I'm gonna use wish.
Yeah.
All right. As you cast wish, the world around you halts. You have moments to make your wish. You have literally I have an hourglass here. Well, a minute glass, really. Well, no, it's more like 10 seconds, but yeah. All right, Guy, you have a suggestion?
No. I'm.
Okay.
No,
Yep.
no.
Okay, Wolfwyn. You're on the clock.
Bring back Captain Brathkar's people and city, and undo the destruction that Senso has caused.
With these whispered words, no one sees any visual effect. But Captain Brathkar, it is now yours. What do you do? As you see these tendrils just coming forward like a pillar of death towards the people trying to reach the sword.
I just blast ice at these tendrils, just opening up my breath weapon of pure and utter ice and cold.
All right. You turn and open your jaws, and as they do, from deep, deep within... Let's see if I can do this. Maybe. Ice cracks, and you watch as all of the tendrils immediately begin to freeze. They shatter as Mary reaches her hand through the glass ice and grabs hold of the sword. As this happens, the scene fades. You now find yourself outside, on the ground. High above you, the battle still rages. But the creature is defeated. It begins to disappear as it slowly rises high into the sky and out of view. There's a cheer coming from the races of the dragons in the sky. As you breathe a heavy sigh, Mary, in your hand you clasp the sword, with the runes now etched upon its blade and on its hilt. Guys, because we're out of time, I'm going to give this to the chat when we meet afterwards. But you will get to design and create an artifact in my world whose power it is to traverse the multiverse. By using the blade's edge, you are able now to travel from my world to others. A power that had until now never existed. The dragons, now clear as day for all those on the surface to see, have their own challenges to face. Dotti and Mary, you have achieved your duties. The beast is quelled. Where it goes now, that is for fate to know. Wolfwyn and Duncan, as travelers of the multiverse, you enter into a long and an in-depth peace agreement with the world of Aulestria to welcome them to the multiverse. And they too swear fealty to help protect any threat that may come over it or any other world's borders. And it is here, ladies and gentlemen, that our 12-hour marathon reaches its conclusion.
Chills.
All right.
Let's go.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. So first and foremost, I'm going to say a very, very fond thank you and give everyone a chance to obviously plug themselves really quickly. Then Dread, myself, and Rob will stay around for a little bit and do the giveaway. So as we say a fond farewell to our wonderful players for today, let's of course start with our two amazing performers who have joined us for the full 12-hour marathon. AJ and Ellen, thank you so much for joining us. AJ, tell us, who are you? What are you doing with all the things? Go.
Hi, I'm AJ Winters. I am a content creator, world builder, and DM from Australia. You can find me over on Winters Tales on all the platforms, or Winters Tales Co. on socials. Thank you so much for having me. This has been awesome. So much fun.
And I'll jump in. Hi, I'm Ellen. Right now I'm gonna go to bed because I gotta do a country tour tomorrow and get up at like 4 a.m. But in the meantime, when I'm not doing stuff like that, I am a actor and performer. You can find me on Twitter at LNKGraham1, where I do hot nerd stuff. Whatever that means. Usually it's just me voicing my silly opinions into the void, as Twitter should always be used for. Or I do cosplay with my amazing photographer, Jamie. And I'm also a creator and performer for the variety TTRPG podcast Roll to Cast. That's ROLE. Each season is a different game system, so there's something for everyone. We were nominated for Best Fiction in the Australian Podcast Awards this year, so maybe next year we can make it 2 for 2. Maybe we can win as well, so check that out. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't like it, then keep that to yourself, you know? Enough negativity out there. We don't need that, only positivity. And yeah, thank you so much for having me on. This has just been like such an honor, so thank you.
It's been a pleasure having you.
Yeah. And of course, last but absolutely not least, my friend Guy from How to Be a Great GM. Thank you so much for joining us as our special guest for the finale here. What an ending.
Absolute pleasure, and yes, that was really cool. I didn't know where it was going, and where it went was just amazing. I think it's a lot of fun, and you guys are all amazing to play with. Had so much fun. It's like, I just want to role play forever. I'm like, I could play this character for a couple episodes, actually. Maybe like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. No, let's just do it as a campaign.
That was the main problem. I was like, I would love to just take time for all of these roleplay scenes, and we could have done just this section of the campaign for 12 hours.
Yeah, I described it before. It's like a sampler box, you know. You like, I just want more. I guess I just have to. All right.
But like the good berry, it's Moorish.
It's
very Moorish. Very Moorish.
It can be too much of a good thing.
Too much of it will get you.
Amazing.
All right. So thank you to my wonderful group. We are going to bid them farewell, and we are going to now change over to our I guess very impromptu made thing for the giveaway. So stick around, guys, and we will get started on that. To my fellow actors that have to leave us, farewell, and I look forward to seeing you across the bow again very soon.
Love
All right,
you guys. I can't wait to play again.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye. You have to leave the chat so that I can.
Leaving?
Yeah, you just leave. Get out. That's it. Yeah, this is like that weird point in like when you're at the house and you're like, cool, now leave my home.
We'll just, you just have both stood up and like hugging each other.
I've said well and patted my thighs. What else can I do?
Yeah, it's just...
Hey, Felix is still in your room, so it's fine.
We'll just leave.
Just
That's cool?
Thank you.
You just know the way
Bye.
out. Right?
Yeah, we'll see ourselves out. No worries.
Oh man, I've got such an early morning tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi guys, you're still here. Congratulations, you've reached the end of the 12-hour Jasper's Game Day Marathon. Kudos, here's your prize. It's a hot chocolate. It's in Australia, so you may need to come and get it, but it's here for you. If you enjoyed your show, then support all of the content creators whose links will be in the description below, including, of course, the wonderful GMs that ran this whole freaking thing, the DreadedGM, Robert Hartley GM, and, of course, myself as the Dead Aussie Gamer. If you want to support Jasper's Game Day, there'll be links to the website in the description below. I hope you had an amazing time. I know that we did. It is probably one of the most memorable games we've ever run, and we are so glad to have shared it with so many people. So, thank you for joining. Hope that you stay safe. And from me, all of our performers, and all of my friends, till we meet again, as always, game hard or die trying. Though, don't actually, because, you know, it was a 12-hour marathon. Go get some sleep, right? Like, go rest, hydrate, eat something if you haven't. You know what? Just wait there. I'll go get something, okay? Okay, don't move.